It's time for the late night boxing talks. Ow! You know what I'm saying? And we out here. I saw a very interesting sparring session this morning between Dan Rafael and Rick Merrigan. And Dan was calling him out outright. You know, he was basically saying that Jose Ramirez ducked Regis Pregarius. And what he's doing is basically using the business as a means to avoid a tough fight. And that's one thing that never gets addressed. Was Goody Fistiana? That's one thing that never really gets addressed, that we're intended to look at that argument that he's making, and the threat level from opponent to opponent never gets discussed. The threat level, like, I never see the managers or the promoters really address that. You know damn good and well that Regis Prograis is a more dangerous fight than Richard Commey. So that's like the aspect of it that I didn't see him say anything about that, even though it's obvious that, of course, you'd be willing to fight Richard Commey because, you know, it's not just the money. And Dan did say that it's not just the money. Like, honestly, like, you want us to look at Richard Commey and Regis Prograis as being in the same stratosphere? Was Goody Buried Rhymes, was Goody Country, was Goody Pound for Pound King, Mr. D-Lo, Ernie Wiles, Trackman in the building, Bobby Light, hey, Mr. Calderon, and yeah, was Goody Virgil, and yeah, it's like, I never saw that come up in the argument, but I felt like, you know, that was a component in the argument, and for those that didn't see it, you can go see it on Twitter because it's all up. They were arguing for something like an hour, and Dan was calling him out, basically saying that you let a world title opportunity slip away for what is basically 5%. That's the claim that you're making, that where you're saying it's all about the 60-40, you know, he want the split from the WBC, the split that they assigned was 65-35, whereas what they wanted was 60-40. And what you want the boxing community at large to believe is that you let that fight slip away over what is 5%. And never mind that, you know, let's be honest, Regis is a more dangerous fighter than any fighter that Top Rank has lined up for you. So, I mean, and the fact that it doesn't get brought up and it doesn't get said that, like, bro, let's be honest, you know Regis is more dangerous than Commey. You know he's more dangerous than Teofimo Lopez. You know that. And at least a part of, if nothing else, at least a part of your decision-making process was, why take a risk on him when we can make comparable money fighting someone else, even if it's for no title at all? You know what I mean? I'm going to ask the panel tonight, you know, do they feel like it's a duck? I feel like it's a duck. Like, to me, it's a plain old duck. Like, it is. You could bring the money shit up as much as you want. That shit is a duck. It is. If you look at him and you look at him and then you say, well, I get the same money fighting him that I would fighting him, and you go with him because he's easier, well, that's what makes it a duck. The fact that you're going on the path of least resistance, that's what makes it a duck. Jose Ramirez, bro, wouldn't he make more money as a champion if he beat Prograis? That just tells me when the splits are brought up, what that, yeah. I mean, honestly, because if he got a title in his hands, he would make more money as a champion. But the logic has to be that, well, we're already en route for a title. You know, we're already en route for a title. At some point or another, we're going to get to fight for a belt. So fighting for his belt right now, it's riskier than we want it to be, because you're not going to tell me that you let that slip away just because of 5%. You know, the argument that Dan made, it actually made a lot of sense, that you telling me that the difference between a fight happening and a fight not happening is 5% that you could have just gave him. He is the champion after all. But, you know, it is what it is. Like, we see guys say that all the time, you know, with different outfits and different different promotional outfits. They'll say, oh, boxing is a business. Yeah, and every sport is a business. That doesn't really change that it's a sport. And you're going to do what you want to do. Nobody can stop you. Nobody can really force you to fight him. But at the same time, you can't force us to believe you. You can't force us. You're making it seem like, oh, it's Regis's fault that he was being too difficult, that the fight happened. Well, I don't really believe that. I don't believe that. Dan Rafael didn't believe that. I don't think most people believe that. At the end of the day, the Commey fight is a safer fight, and you get to keep making safe money. So that's where you went. You just don't really want to be a champion right now. Not if you got to go through him. If it was somebody else for that same WBC, you probably would have did it. If it was somebody else. Exactly, Martin. What's goody, pound for pound king? T.O. is doing the same thing now, saying the money isn't enough. Exactly. That's that's a big part of the reason. That is actually a big part of the reason that I never wanted to be one of those content creators that relies on interviews to provide content. Because what I notice happens to a lot of those guys, they become mouthpieces, they become mascots, and unofficial members of the team. And you can't really call a spade a spade. You can't really say, well, this guy's full of shit and you ducking. You can't really say that when you're relying on access in order to create content, which is why I'm not big on that shit, and I never have been. When I see what T.O. is doing after the Zepeda fight, who was antagonizing who? Teofimo was antagonizing Regis, not the other way around. That man wasn't even thinking about you. You went to his page, you said some slick shit, got the ball rolling, so that when push come to shove, oh, the money's not enough. If it was somebody else, if it wasn't Regis and it was somebody else, I bet you the money would be enough. The money's not enough. Finish the sentence. The money's not enough for the risk. They never finished the money ain't right. No, the money ain't right for the risk. You don't want to get your ass beat. That's the money ain't right for the ass whooping you about to take, because most of that gonna go to the doctor. Can you say it's a tune-up? I mean, I look at it as a tune-up, bro. The fact that, look, Jose Ramirez's last two opponents have been lightweights that moved up in weight. Jose Pedraza, yeah, he's been there for 3 fights, but he still is a lightweight. Really, he's a dude that moved up from super featherweight to lightweight and from lightweight up to super lightweight. And now you fighting Comey. He ain't really been at the weight that long, and he got his ass beat by whatchamacallit. He bounced back with Pedraza. They had the draw, but it's like ain't no way you gonna look at that and don't come to the conclusion of like, yo, dog, you trying to take it easy because you really trying to do that Lopez fight in the summer because you figure that Lopez fight is gonna make you money and it's a safer fight than fighting Regis. If you fight Regis, even if the money is good, you gonna fuck around and lose, and you don't want another setback. Exactly, Julio. Exactly. What's goody, Danny? About to shoot y'all the link out here. And we're going to talk about these tactics, man, because a lot of the promoters and a lot of the managers, they try to beat the fans on the head with that, oh, it's a business. Yeah, you still ducking. Business or no business, it's a duck, bro. It's a duck. You could decorate it however you want. You can frame it however you want to frame it. It's still a duck. Like it is, you know? It is. Yeah, yo. You know what I'm saying? Danny, what it do, man? What do you think about it, bro? Yeah, yo.
Sometimes
you know what I hate?
What's
good? Yo, like,
if you want to be a champion, sometimes you got to make a sacrifice. When you're the boss, when you get a belt, you have the right to make decisions. So if you have a belt and you want a belt, sometimes you got to take a less percentage. When you have the belt, you can call the shots. Rankings should have a purpose. Having a belt should have a purpose. That's why these people now are saying belts don't matter, because people are not respecting the people with a belt, saying, because I make more money than you. I'm gonna give you this analogy right here. What is the most valuable football franchise?
Shit,
the Dallas Cowboys.
Patriots. Oh, I was about to say the Patriots, but the Cowboys.
The Dallas Cowboys.
They're valued
America's team.
Cowgirls.
Football team of all time.
Are they the best football team in football?
No, but as a dick riding fan, I have to say this stuff.
Not by but it is a franchise, bro. I remember, if you didn't see a guy in New York wearing a Jets jersey or a Giants jersey, motherfuckers was really walking around with Dallas Cowboys jerseys on my block. That shit was like fitted caps on my block. Like, motherfucker, really Dallas jerseys and shit. Like, really?
Jules, I've been a Dallas Cowboys fan basically since like 91. I was born into this, okay? It's my dad's side of the family is from Dallas. whole side of the family.
No, you
The
have
only
to. You have to, villain. If you don't, they'll disown you. You have
Exactly.
But
Yeah,
how
that's
much
like
money your
shit.
team
It's like
brings
a religion in Texas.
doesn't
that you
determine
can't get
how
away
good
with
your
that.
team is.
to.
The
It's a
only
fucking cult
shit.
country. It's a cult.
Yep.
The only shit that I ever got flipped, like as a Dallas fan, was in New York. I had people literally tell me to fuck off. I'd walk by, had a shirt on. Fuck off. Get the fuck out of here. Who the fuck are you? Didn't say a word to me. Just give me that. It's all Giants fans, of course, but people nasty to me. I went ahead. That's it. Didn't say a word. Fuck out of here. Get off my block. Oh, okay.
Look. A lot of guys they was real big Dallas fans in New York. But look, villain. I don't know if you saw Dan Raphael's argument with Rick Merrigan. For those that don't know, Rick Merrigan is Jose Ramirez's manager, among other fighters. And you know, Rick started with it's a business. And the argument that Dan presented, which I thought was the most compelling argument that he presented, was that you're basically letting a world title fight slip away for what you describe as 5%. You want 60-40, and the proposed split was 65-35 in favor of Regis, who is the champion. And what you basically want the world to believe is the reason that this fight is not happening, the reason is because of 5%. Get the fuck out of here.
Well, that's a very disingenuous argument to make, meaning they're arguing against 5%. First of all, my assumption is, and I'm not a professional boxer, never claimed to be one, but isn't one of the motivations is you want belts? So you're not going to allow 5% to stop you from becoming a world titleist. I can't imagine that. It's a disingenuous argument.
Before I pass it off, I'm going to say you will let 5% stop you if you don't think you can win. Julio, what do you think about it, bro? Look, I don't really mind Jose. I like that he's not talkative. I like that he's basically he doesn't say much, and I appreciate that because who really wants talkative fighters? You know, like I'm not really into that. All that shit talking really don't mean nothing. It's really what you do in the ring. And I've always appreciated how stoic Jose is. But it's a duck, isn't it? Isn't this a duck?
It's absolutely a duck, and he's been doing it since 2018. He's been actively avoiding Jose Ramirez, and it's plainly obvious. Terrible style matchup for him, and he knows that. And
you mean he's been avoiding Regis' program?
Absolutely, it's a terrible. But just like
Jose Ramirez, bro.
Yeah. Sorry about that, but it makes just analyze the fight on the surface. It's a terrible matchup for him. He knows he's gonna lose against him.
Yeah, he does. Let me go to country to quack or not to quack. There it is. You hear it.
That's the only thing you can say.
It's a duck, bro. Like I refuse to believe that 5% is the reason. Remember, Jose threw a bunch of reasons out there. He talked about the purse split and all of that, but he also said, well, he's with Probellum, and Bob don't want to work with them. And then Rick comes out, well, that doesn't really matter. It was really, but it's like, y'all need to get y'all story straight. You know, you would have been better off sticking with the Probellum thing because then it would have been out of your hands. Like, well, we would have, but Bob doesn't want to work with them. Yeah, I mean, now your manager's saying, nah, it wasn't really because of that. It was because of the 5%. That's worse. You let a world title fight for a fight that is long overdue because y'all was supposed to been fight. Because of 5%, you let it slip away. We're intended to believe that that's the reason. It's not because Regis is fucking dangerous, right? It's not because he's 10 times as dangerous as Comey or Lopez. It's the 5%.
It's not because he's going to knock him the fuck out, you know?
It's the 5%.
I'm sure Regis would have gave him the 5%.
Bruh.
He would have done it. He went to fucking the UK to fight Josh Taylor when he had no opponent. Like,
I don't think they ever even entered. I don't think they really got into negotiations because it seems like they kind of killed it. But like it didn't last long, you know. It didn't take them. If you think about how all of it happened, it kind of happened in the span of a week or 2 weeks, and before you knew it, you already heard, "Oh, Comey is next." Like y'all already had him on reserve. Like, get the Comey out of the cabinet. We gonna fight Comey. You know what I mean? So it's like, bro, it's a duck. It's a duck. And the more you talk about it, which is what made it worse, it wasn't that Dan antagonized Rick. It was that Rick was saying shit. So Dan was commenting on the shit. Like, bro, that shit is a duck. He said this is one of the biggest ducks he's seen in the last 29 years. How y'all feel about that? Is it that big a duck?
Bro, 5%, you lose. You don't take a fight off of 5%.
Yeah, you know what? Most fighters that know they can fight, they're not gonna like trip off of 5%.
5%.
That's
But you
an
know what? Like,
excuse.
you know what's alarming is like what's happening to like what happened to fighters wanting to beat like the best. You know what I
I got a
mean?
question for the panel.
No,
Like
no, it's a legitimate
what
question.
happened to the
We
fighters
kind of
mentality?
know. We kind of know what happened to that.
Like Devin, like what Devin did. Why aren't more fighters doing that?
I got a question. Maybe this will solve the issue. You know, if there's a belt, whatever's first bid, it goes to there's a certain rule in terms of percentages.
Mm-hmm.
How would you feel if they do whatever percentage they are, but the winner gets the higher piece of the pie?
Because of how everything is structured, they would not enter into a deal structure like that. Because what basically Jose is saying is, I already make good money, or what Rick is saying on his behalf is, he already makes good money, so he doesn't actually need Regis. In other words, that's basically what they're communicating. That he already makes so much. Why go into this title fight? And he does have a point, but that doesn't change that it's a duck.
They're still a duck.
Still a duck.
Also, he couldn't get any other 140-pounder. Like, why this guy?
Yeah, why not Barboza?
Yeah, he conveniently had to get a natural lightweight to make that fight.
And the last guy was a fucking lightweight.
Man, who wants to watch that? I don't even think I'm going to watch that fight.
No, I'm gonna watch it because Sinisi is on the undercard. That's the only.
Okay.
That's why I'm watching it. Like, to be real with you. And look, according to Drew, he been hanging out over there with a lot of them, hanging out with the managers, with the Manny Robleses of the world. He said that the tickets that are being sold are honestly being sold on the premise of Sinicia and people that are coming to support her. That's what he said. Those is his words.
Yo, what do you guys think of that Robesi Ramirez fight?
That's a good fight. I like that fight.
Dogma.
Stop it.
I think he's going. Yeah, why you had to say it before me? I do think he's going to stop Dogbe. I do. I think he's going to stop him.
Well, you know what? Dogbe is kind of small for his weight, man.
Bro, he was small for 122, bro. Now that he's at 126, he look real small.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, he's fighting an uphill battle, man, big time.
I think
it looks like Edgar is going to Eddie. I don't know if y'all saw that.
No,
I
bro,
got a
that's where I said he was gonna go. Keith Connolly funneled Richardson Hitchens to Matchroom, and I figured, look, if Edgar wants to be on Easy Street for a little while, he'll take him to Eddie because Eddie will just use him to sell tickets in New York, but he won't put him in any immediate danger straight away because Eddie don't got super middleweights anyway. Not really.
I got a question, and I want your guys' opinion.
Go ahead.
I needed to pause that. Sorry. My question to you is: do you think there's been an increase of ducking and boxing because of social media? Do you believe these guys used to not have to deal with people on the level that they have to deal with them now? It used to be if you ducked a guy, didn't fight a guy, it was just you're gonna deal with people in print, people on the street, but you're not gonna be dealing with a large amount of people. Now you do remember, like in the Rocky movie, after Apollo fought. In the second one, he was receiving letters, right? He actually had to get physical snail mail. He had to go through it. But nowadays, these guys literally, if they lose a fight, immediately right afterwards, instantaneous, a feedback to it. Do you think that has anything to do with these guys avoiding losing their own?
Yes. Yeah, I do. But it's a different sport now than it was. It's a different sport because it was more of a working class sport. Whereas now you just have a lot of guys that want to be suits and they operate on that premise that they want to be suits. Fighters are fighting less and the fights that they take on, they're really not that risky. Some of those fights that we got in the 80s and 90s, we would never get fights like that in this era. Like we really wouldn't because it'll turn into a whole fucking thing. Whereas now any halfway decent fighter versus any halfway decent fighter is a fucking problem because everybody thinks they're a brand. There's no way around it now. Like if you want to do a good, maybe overseas, like I say, I always defer to the UK because they have that grooming process that they have where they make their guys fight each other, and they do. I think who we talked about a couple of lives ago, Lee Wood is a prime example and he's a prime example of what I've been saying, that who's going to pick up the reins in boxing it's going to end up being the foreigners, because the foreigners, they're fighting guys, bro. They're fighting men. That's their mentality. They're not really trying to be suits and brands and all that stuff like many of the American fighters are, which is why every time there's an American involved, it's like there's almost always a problem. Like, just get in the ring, bro. It's not shut up and dribble per se, but if you want to get somewhere, you do have to fight, because that's what the people are here for. They're here to see you fight. And they're not here to see you fight Richard Comey.
Nah.
Yeah, that's for sure.
I'm not here to see you fight that guy, bro. You know, but it is what it is. Like, Ramirez is basically biding his time until he can have that Lopez fight. They're both avoiding Regis to face each other, and that's the play. That's the play.
That's
Lopez-
sad, though. You know, that they would just both of them would just openly duck him like that. It's like, come on, man.
The question
For
is,
their own
where does-
health, I get it.
The question is, where does Regis go? Because I saw somebody say it. I don't know who it was this morning. They mentioned that they would like for him to go to the PBC. And I've said it before. I don't have
Gary Antoine.
I don't have a problem with him going over there, because they do have fights. They have Alberto Puello. They have Gary Antoine Russell. They have the winner of Matias versus Ponce. They do have fights. The fear is, how long will it take them to put the fights together? How long?
Oh. Yeah, and
Bro.
how much shenanigans is Al gonna pull with him too?
Bro, I'd fucking hate that, because you already know we're at minimum only getting Regis once or twice a year, and that fucking sucks.
That's the drawback. That, like, okay, if you go over there and fights happen, then great. But we know that just the act of you being over there does not guarantee that fights are going to happen, because of the aforementioned examples we've used many times. That Jarrett Hurd never got around to fighting Jermel Charlo, and Leo Santa Cruz never got around to fighting Gary Russell. And look at how long it's taken to do Spence versus Thurman. Look at how long it's taken to do Benavidez versus Plant. So the feeling is, if y'all can do the fights in a timely fashion, then great. But y'all don't have a reputation for that.
I think
And
you
then,
would
like-
only fight. I think you'd only take a one fight offer at a time. I don't think you sign an exclusive contract with PBC, because
I don't think that Al
He
would.
knows.
I don't think that Al would sacrifice the champions that he has to work with him on a fight-by-fight basis. I don't think he would do that. I think he would have to lock him into a deal to give him access to those fighters.
But also, is Regis versus Gary Antoine Russell any bigger than Regis versus Montana Love? Like, no disrespect to Gary, but he's been matched up terribly. In 16 fights.
Well, if you think about, this is the funniest shit. Those guys that are over there, we want him to go over there because those guys have belts. But in reality, Prograis versus Ramirez is bigger than them fights. It is. It is. Them guys, nobody know them guys, bro. Nobody know Puello but me, and it's because I'm Dominican. Nobody know that guy. Who know who?
Cousins?
Exactly. We all cousins, bro. Nobody know the Argentinian kid, and he's a good fighter, that's the other thing. Ponce is a good fighter. Jeremiah Ponce is a good fighter. Matias is a good fighter, but none of those guys have profiles.
And it's because they're there, like, they're not being promoted, and they're only fighting once or twice a year.
Bro,
So
look at how long it took them to finally do the fight between them. That shit with Josh, he gave up the belt, I think it was at the beginning of the summer of last year. There is no good reason that they should not have already fought for that vacant title last year. There's no reason.
they're getting paid.
Hey, Jules, did you see that little mini brawl that Plant and Benavidez people got into?
Nah, I didn't see that shit.
Yeah, they got into like a little bit of a brawl. I think
Bro.
Plant sucker punched one of the guys, and everybody started
They have
going
a
on.
I didn't hurt his
fight
hand
like
en
that.
route to that fight, bro. Don't fuck up that fight. Hurt your hand fucking with these people, man.
I think they got into it at the gym. I think like Plant was working out, and they came to the gym to work out, and they were arguing about who was supposed to be there and who wasn't, and like
That's all.
That was years ago, yeah.
That's the old video.
You talking about the old shit. Yeah, that's
somebody was showing that and saying that was just matter of fact, it was Lady Chan who just showed that on her channel and said that was
I seen that they had an altercation at the gym once, but I thought you was talking about something recent, because I know they had like a little mini.
Lady Chan had that on her channel, and she showed
Eli
it.
Segback just posted it again today, just reminding everybody where the beef started.
You know, Ellie's view farming.
Okay, maybe I might have misunderstood it.
Indulge-
That's not your fault. Ellie uploading shit from 3 years ago trying to get views, bro. He trying to keep the lights on over there. Joel I'm just gonna say Joel, bro. We gotta give props to fighters for fighting. Sad, ain't that the truth though? We do though. Like I know Lara probably gonna get his ass. Lee Wood probably gonna get his ass kicked. But respect, bro, because you don't.
Respect.
It's a lot of guys that would not do what he's doing, bro. They
And
would
he has
Hey,
if
Jules,
anybody
isn't it-
has a right to like take a victory lap and like, you know, take some bullshit fights, show off their belt, it's him, because that motherfucker is not going anywhere fast.
for real. Rider
Hey.
of the Storm said, if Plant can outbox Benavidez, do you think the PBC would steal the fight from Plant to elevate Benavidez? And yes, I absolutely do. I absolutely do. I don't think they want Benavidez. I mean, I don't think they want Plant to win that fight.
They wouldn't want
Nah,
Plant to win.
the
Because nobody
Canelo
would want to
rematch.
plant Canelo.
Because they want Canelo to come over.
Yeah, nobody
Exactly.
wants to rematch with that.
Hey, Jules, you pronounce that guy's last name as Stanislato.
That's a lot of shit, bro. And
The
yeah,
Canelo
I don't.
rematch doesn't
I
make much
honestly
sense.
believe if the decision were tight or if the fight were tight, they would just give it to Benavidez, bro. They're not going to give it to the guy who already got knocked out by Canelo. They're not. You know, they're going to give it to. And like I see some people picking Plant, but I just feel like, look, you want him to win. In reality, once he gasses out, it's over. It is over, and he don't got a good gas tank. So I mean, let's just cut the shit. If he
Well,
won.
he
If
got
he
a new
won, I wouldn't
trainer.
be mad, but you know what I mean? Like shit.
Man, I'm backed against the wall. I want Caleb Plant to win to show people
Well,
that
the
David
thing
ain't
is-
shit. But then I don't want him to win because the rematch with Canelo doesn't make that much sense, you know.
No, pero
It's better
también ojalá si
Benavidez
él gana, maybe we get Plant versus Morrell. Tú sabes.
Well,
Plant
Plant got
versus
a new trainer and he's
Plant
changing up his
Andre?
style.
You think we would get Plant versus Andre?
I don't know because
No.
Andre, the deal that I heard that it was a one-off deal, bro. That's what I heard. It's a one-off deal. It's not like it's a multi-fight, 3-fight, 4-fight. It's one fight. The
You know-
Desmond Nicholson fight.
If Plant wins, though, he's earned a rematch with Canelo. But my question is, if he gets it, what could he actually do differently?
Nothing.
And Andre didn't
Yeah.
that good. It's not like Al was saying this guy's some special fucking guy.
What the
Also-
fuck is he gonna do differently? Instead of getting knocked out, he's gonna get knocked up. Like he's gonna get beat again, bro.
But also, does he really like is beating Benavidez really worthy of another shot at the title? Really?
At the undisputed, bro.
Like really? I don't know.
I don't know, but you know what? Too, I'm not hyped for Canelo versus Bivol too, bro. I'm really
Me
not.
neither, because I don't think that's gonna be a competitive
Yo,
fight.
Dude,
that's
speaking of like, what's the deal with like Wilder now saying Andy Ruiz is on steroids?
I don't know, man.
Dude,
Like
it's getting out of
Wilder
hand,
said
man. The
that?
dude he's just throwing.
Yeah, first he said that like Fury and Usyk were gonna cheat. Whoever wins, whoever cheats harder. Now he says Ruiz is on steroids. I'm like,
you
oh,
really
you
said
know.
that though, for real?
Yeah, they have videos about it, man. It's for real. The people put that out there. It's been out there for like the last day or so.
Wow.
Listen,
He's
listen.
paranoid, bro.
If
Yeah.
Andy Ruiz is on steroid, then Deontay Wilder is the greatest boxer in the world.
Yo,
It
that dude
doesn't
is
make sense.
Spiking the Snickers bar.
paranoid, bro. He's been paranoid ever since the second Fury fight. He's been paranoid.
Let me just
Yeah.
ask a simple question. If you are concerned, do you think these guys are doing this, and why are you getting in the ring with them? Why would you get in the ring if you were so sure that you got cheated in either the first or second fight against Fury? Why would you voluntarily get in the ring again?
Oh,
Why
it's
would
12v
you go in-
chess.
Listen, I asked the same question, not just because there was going to be another fight, but because it was under the auspices of the exact same commission. The commission from the second fight is the same commission for the third fight. And I'm like, well, if you think that he got over on that commission and you think that they weren't looking out for your best interests, why the fuck would you fight him there again?
Julius, not just Fury, Luis Ortiz. Luis Ortiz got popped for steroids and you fought him twice.
Exactly.
Bro, from which angle does Andy Ruiz looks like he's on steroid? Which angle, bro?
Well, no, I mean, look.
He's a fucking potato.
You could be on steroids and be fat. It's not even that. Those Scandinavian power lifters, they're on roids, but they're not. They don't look like Mr. Olympia. The main thing is that why are you all of a sudden coming out with this crap? So what are you saying? You don't want to fight him? What are you saying?
Right.
J.R.
Fury was on.
I'm gonna make it make sense.
All of a sudden he's on steroids. Why? What did he do what did he do that makes you think that he's on steroids? And if you feel that way, you know, you're the A-side fighter, implement VADA testing if you feel that way. Though y'all just brought it up. You don't have a problem fighting Ortiz, and he got popped 2 times. Yeah. You didn't have a problem with him. He got popped for Nandrolone the first time and some kind of masking agent the second time. You didn't have a problem with Fury. So
Fury
Tyson Fury.
Yeah, maybe it's because like after the Fury beating, he thinks every fat guy's on steroids.
Probably. Benavidez is Chavez Jr. 2.0. That's extreme.
That's funny.
That's extreme.
I wouldn't say that, but that's funny.
Mr. Calderon says Ruiz and Usyk should hit Wilder with defamation. Well, I think they have. I don't think that you can just hit him with that. I think he has to incur. You would have to incur damages as a result. I think of what he's saying, that, you know, because he said you're on steroids, it costed you some money, or you went through trauma.
Like some sponsorship would drop him or some shit like that.
Exactly. Like if Adidas said, well, we don't want to work with a ped sheet, so you lost that deal based on what he said, you could probably sue him for that, but you can't just sue him because he said it.
Here we go with this, man. This shit's out of control, dude.
Bro, did you guys see him hugging his own statue?
Bro, let me read the super chat. Jack says, you see the LDBC are saying Inouye is taking roids. Listen, bro, I got to champ the shit. It don't matter what they saying. This is what the fuck you wanted. This is what I wanted. This is what you wanted, right? So all of Stephen gonna beat his ass, and this is not about Stephen. This is about you. You saying that he's a hype job. You saying that he ain't no good. That's what y'all been saying. That he's another hype job that they manufactured. All right, if he all that, then Stephen should beat him. Because I ain't been saying that. Country ain't been saying that. Candace ain't been saying that. Julio ain't been saying that. Nobody on this panel been saying he knew he's a hype job, but you motherfuckers.
Yep.
I didn't say that. My question would be this, is that so obviously you can point where you could say Berlanga is a hype job based on everything they did, the money they poured into him, the competition that he beat, the people that he was matched up with. Okay, you can make an argument. But how do you have an argument for a guy who's been in 3 divisions, now he's on his 4th division, he's a multi-weight champion in different divisions, he's beat all these guys. How can you ever claim that a guy like that, or Loma, who has a resume and the accolades that anything that could be compared to what a true hype job is, would be somebody like Berlanga? Please present that evidence.
I think, Jules, you've pointed this out before. They don't watch the lower weight classes. They're fucking casual.
But it's that in the tribalism. Like, that's why I don't like to address things that they say anymore, because there's no way for me to address it without addressing the American xenophobia that you hate everybody, bro.
It's not even that anymore. The way I see the LDBC and these clowns and the fans of the PBC, it's just like, you know, those crackheads on the fucking under the bridge. That's the way I see them, bro. Honest to God.
But it is
just ignore them.
No, look, honestly, it is xenophobia. It's like anybody that I guess that you as an individual don't identify with, oh, something got to be wrong with them. Because what you tell yourself is, oh, as long as they're like me, they're the greatest fucking thing ever. So you got a guy in Japan, never been popped for nothing. And these idiots don't know that Japanese commission is very fucking strict.
Yep.
Very strict.
Way stricter than here.
Way stricter than here. And, oh, he got to be on steroids now. Why? Because your bitch ass scared? Because you scared you called him a hype job and now we about to find out if he is or he ain't? I ain't worried about it. If he knew he lose, cool. If he don't lose, cool. Because I'm not the one that called him a hype job. You're dumb ass called him a hype job.
They take the sport way more seriously than we do.
It's not the sport, bro. It's
not the sport. They fall in love with man, bro, over.
They're fragile and emotional.
Yeah, like
I was referring to Japan. I said they take the sport way more seriously.
You're right about that country. You can't even listen. You can't fight over there with a tattoo. They got some kind of paint that they'll put over your body to hide your tattoos if you got tattoos.
Why? Yeah. Legit. You know why? Because Yakuza have tattoos and it was associated with criminals. And
exactly.
They didn't like that, according to their culture.
That's what Rachel Donaire said when she jumped on it. The reason they do that is because they don't want it could be gang related. So it's like, nah, they'll paint over that shit. They don't want nobody to see that shit. And like
if
look,
you
it makes but it makes sense. But that shows how strict they are.
If you actually marry a Japanese woman over there and you have tattoos and her family see it, they'll like go in on you about that, man. They don't play, but they don't play.
Yeah, they don't fuck around when it comes to that shit. And there's no reason. In other words, there's no reason to believe that Inouye is on steroids. Not to say that, because y'all know my view. My view is very cynical. As far as I'm concerned, anybody and everybody could be, everybody is, everybody isn't, whatever, right? But I know that when they saying it, it's coming from some bitch ass victim shit. Oh, he got to be on steroids because your bitch ass is nervous. Because that's the shit is. You nervous. Not that they about to fight. Inouye ain't with the bullshit. He not wasting no time. He want Fulton. He wasn't playing when he said that. He wasn't talking when he said that. He meant it. Yo, I'm trying to get him in the ring. Now, we as boxing fans, we don't got to worry about who win that fight because we're going to get a good fight regardless. That's my view. If Fulton win, cool. If Inouye win, cool. I ain't the one that came up with all the bullshit. But if you gonna go as far as calling him a hype job, your bitch ass got to deal with the consequences.
It's like they just don't want the fight.
How come MJ wasn't an option?
Too, they're surprised that Inouye is even being generous, giving Fulton 40%, because he ain't worth 40%.
He damn sure ain't.
He ain't worth 30%. He's not even worth 30.
He's getting 40%.
Yeah, let me just add to that point.
I don't say that as a knock, but it's like it's fighters that's out here that I feel are great ambassadors for the sport. Inouye is one of them. Devin is another. Alicia Baumgartner is another. No fuss, no muss, let's fight. No fuss, no muss, let's fight. Usyk, no fuss, no muss, let's fight. All right? Because that's what the fucking fans, all this Housewives of Atlanta bullshit that motherfuckers like, Brom shit that motherfuckers be arguing on Twitter. I'm not here for that shit. I'm here for the fights. And there's fighters out there, that's how they operate. They're like, I ain't here to be talking to you and arguing with you. I'm here to fight.
Real quick,
Julius, hey, Jay, you think MJ would be an easier fight for Inouye?
Yes.
Someone suggested Fulton come on your show to do it Q&A, and some dude got his panties in it. I just saw that whole thread. I'm dying laughing,
bro.
That shit heavy. I just saw it right now.
I seen that whole shit, and those is it's that kind of individual. It's that, bro. You got look. I'm not knocking nobody, right? But you gotta hide your face to feel comfortable enough to use Twitter, bro. Because that's how fucking ugly you are, bro. You are that fucking self-conscious. You could pop all the slick shit you want with your little burner account. You know what I mean? Like, it makes no difference to me. I said it at the top of the show. I'm not into interviews because I'm not nobody's mascot. When you do a lot of interviews and you become reliant on that to be your content, you know what ends up happening? You end up being a mascot like Ellie Seckback.
Reporting.
Ellie Sutnax.
Reporting.
Ellie
Ellie bends over all the way to his back.
It's true. Like I always go back to what James Toney said to him right when he walked to the gym. You a Johnson sniffer, man. You a Johnson sniffer,
bro. Like when it's cool. Like I like it every so often, and it has to be somebody that I'm already a fan of. It has to be so that it's genuine. But generally speaking, if you're a content creator, you don't want to rely on access to develop content because you won't be able to be honest about things. You won't. That if you don't like some shit, you ain't gonna be able to say it because if you say it, then somebody might deny you access. My content's straight for me. I'm not relying on access from PBC or access from Top Rank or access. I'm not relying on nobody to make my content. If you got to do that, well, that's on you, bro. That's on you.
But that makes perfect sense.
I got to know
the way you're doing it.
Who do you got in a mythical matchup? Regis Prograis manager or Jose Ramirez?
Look, I'm gonna be real. Rick's got a good jab, moves his head real good. You know, he can slip real good, and I think Rick's got a shot. But as far as the fighters, Regis put Jose in the hospital, under the hospital.
Hey,
that's why they want that fight.
The last time Japan had a champion was 1952, man.
Say that again.
The last time Japan had a champion in boxing was 1952.
Well, you know they were trying to say that Murata was no, that's not the last time. Country Masayoshi Ito was WBO super featherweight champion, and before Jamel beat him, he was he was champion.
What year was
That
that?
long ago.
I forgot about that. What year was that?
That was fucking what, 2019, 2020, around there.
Actually, I think I saw that Japan is the third country with the most champions.
Yeah, because they got they got Kenshiro Taraji, Hiroto Kayaguchi, what's this guy that Luis Neri beat the shit out of him? What's this guy's name? The dude that Luis Neri beat when he was on Peds.
Oh, I forget.
Jackie Chan?
He beat. I don't like Luis Neri.
Jet Li?
Was it Yamanaka?
Yamanaka. He beat the shit out of Yamanaka and them, like the shit, bro. Like a thorough ass whooping. But Japan has had champions. I think what you mean, country, is the last time they had an undisputed champion. That's what I think you mean.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah, because Ioka had a belt like back in 09.
Yeah, they've had champions. They've had quite a few. Most are at the lower weights, but they have had quite a few.
You know what? That's what I meant was the undisputed. Yeah.
He made history for his country, for his people. And the worst shit is when you do that to fighters, you can't enjoy the fight. That look, I look at the fight. I'm glad Martin just asked that. Which fight is more difficult? The more
Thank you.
You already know. The more fun fight would actually be Inoue versus MJ, because they both gonna throw with bad intentions.
Honestly, I wanted that fight first because in like you mentioned, they're gonna throw. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna get caught.
Yeah. And with that, you would have got an action fight. What makes the Fulton fight more difficult is, look, Fulton is durable. Even if you think Figueroa really beat him, at minimum you got to say the kid's durable, because they was going at it in the booth for 12 rounds. They was going at it.
If Fulton loses, the same way Wilder fans dissipate, and the same way when Errol Spence loses, the way they would dissipate, bro, these cucks will dissipate as well. There's no Wilder fans to be seen, bro. There's no videos on him at all.
Why you think cats treat Gary Russell like that? Because they resent him for losing to Lomachenko that only had 2 fights. That's a lot of the hate. It do come from that. Like, and I say it. Look, if you telling me that Loma's a hype job, cool. He's a hype job then. But then Gary must just be all sorts of garbage, because you lost to a dude that had a record of 1-1. That's what his record was: 1 win and 1 loss. And you lost to him. So if he's a hype job, what are you?
Well, I love being a dick, and the people that say all that, they're the type of people that when AI takes over and there's universal basic income, they're the ones that are not going to have skills to get jobs.
Hey man, it is what
those
it is.
Those are the type of people that
you know the kind of jobs that's gonna go first, Drew. They already got a fully automated McDonald's in Texas.
McDonald's, no, I'm looking at all the jobs that are gonna go away are forklift, port jobs,
literally, bro.
Drew, you're too nice.
I'm telling you, fear the future. Like a lot of them menial labor jobs, a lot of them shits in the next 10 years.
Wait.
You remember seeing Logan Jules?
You guys
the Logan movie.
You guys are too generous to think they have jobs in the first place.
No, some of them do, Sawab. Some of them do. Stop it.
I'm just telling you that, like, yo, that shit is here. Like I think.
Remember in Logan Jules when they're showing the interstate and it's all the trucking jobs are not manned by anybody. All those cars running through the interstate.
That's the future, bro. Like that's not like think about it. How much motherfucking intelligence quotient you need to flip a fucking burger, bro?
Yeah, Ellerby's cooked.
Like really though, like how much motherfucking brain power you need for that? And they'll eliminate. It's more cost feasible. In other words, for those businesses, which is where capitalism it can be evil. That if it's more cost feasible for them to have robots and an entire automated store, they'll do it, bro. That's what they did to a lot. In a nutshell, like in the 80s and 90s, they outsourced a lot of IT jobs where? India, because it was more cost feasible. It was cheaper. Now they're gonna look at it like, look, is it cheaper to use a robot? Yeah. All right, then we're using a robot.
Julius,
That's what they're
you
doing.
know all the
Wait
retail
till we get
jobs,
robot
all the
boxing,
retail
like
jobs
the
like
movie Real
Amazon
Steel.
Fresh or like all soon, all of them are bro. They're not gonna hire anyone. You just
I
go in,
don't.
pick up your shit, and walk out, and money will be taken out of your account.
If
That's
anything's
what
too
Amazon
hard,
Fresh
they're
is
gonna
doing.
use fucking drones, bro. They're
No,
gonna
we
Look,
already
I
had
don't.
yo.
Hey,
Check
I'm
this
gonna
out.
tell you,
like,
I
I'm gonna
already
tell you
have.
something, man.
I got one
I
of
don't.
those Amazon stores like
I
5
don't
miles
like
from my
those
house.
those AI some of those AI things. Like I was in a mall walking by this jewelry store, and they had like this lady. It looked like a cardboard figure, but the face was digital, and it would talk to you. No matter where you went, the freaking eyes would follow you, bro. It was like frightening.
Does she have big titties?
No, but it was just. I mean, the thing would not.
Can I
But
ask you
that
a question, Jules? Will
I'm
you
an
be
ass
covering
guy.
boxing?
Ass.
Will you be covering boxing when it's real steel robots? If they're fighting the best robots
no,
are fighting the best?
I'm not gonna like it as much because look, the other thing about boxing that makes it, at least for me, more entertaining than other sports is watching the human being figure it out. Like when you see a fight like Conlon versus Wood, two
Right.
humans did that. They went at it, and it was ebbs and flows, and motherfucker got knocked down, and motherfucker got knocked out. It's a beautiful thing, man. But if it's two robots, ain't shit.
Now, what if the robot is like the movie where the trainer has to control the robot?
Yeah, I know you talking about the
Nah,
real
man.
steel shit, the Hugh Jackman shit.
Yeah.
You're
not gonna go live for those, Jules?
Bro,
Real
oh,
steel.
listen, my wife tried to make me watch that shit, and I was like, nah.
Hey,
I'm
Jude,
good.
you're basically describing the adult version of Rock'em Sock'em Robots, man.
Yeah, no, I know, but that's the fellas. That's the future.
Bro, I don't want to
Bro,
watch that shit.
look.
Hey,
Julius,
Jules.
you talked about something. Hold on. You talked about thing. You know what the UFC is doing or Dana White is doing with that slapping
I love
competition.
that
What are your guys' thoughts on that? I
I
hate it. I personally hate it.
Wait,
No, I
UFC is
love
doing
that
that
shit.
shit?
I'm going to be real. So I really the fact that look, no fuss, no muss, you about to get the shit slapped out of you. I really like that shit more than UFC. For me,
Bro,
that's like 10 UFC fights rolled into one, bro. I love that
bro,
shit.
it's like protect yourself at
Dana
all
White's
times, bro.
genius,
How are you
bro, for
protecting
creating
yourself?
that shit.
Hey, bro, that shit's been growing. I've been seeing that a lot lately. Those slap contests.
They was doing. Dana didn't create that shit. First of all,
Bro, that
Dana
was
been
They
started
He
that
been
shit,
doing
bro.
packaged
that
it.
shit. They've
He
been
packaged
doing
it.
it.
In Europe.
He he did patent it in
No,
America.
like package. He packaged it to get like distributed like TV and shit. He
Yeah,
didn't
because
create it.
they had I used to see clips of that shit in Russia. They'll have girls slapping
Yeah.
the shit out of each other, guys slapping that shit been out. He just, he did his UFC thing with it. But I'm gonna say I really like that shit. Let me read the super chats because I think I got like 2 super chats piling up. But I like
Bro,
that
you're
shit. I
evil.
like power slap.
You're evil.
If anything, they should do it like on the ass too. Like the joints got a power slap. Saludo de lo mío, que lo que.
Bro, they said that like you'll lose points if you like brace yourself before getting slapped. That's crazy.
Bro, there's actually one slapping ass competition as well. I saw a video of girls slap each other's asses. I've seen one of them.
Dude, did you guys see that one
Let me
slap
read the
fight
super
video
chat. Let me read
where
the
guy's face swelled up?
super chat. Who do you think will be on the undercard of Tank versus Garcia? Would love to see some DAZN versus PBC fights. I heard that Ennis versus Villa's gonna be on the undercard. I heard that. Ennis versus Villa. You know the guy that just beat Rashidi Ellis.
I don't think that's gonna happen.
No, I mean it has to by way of the IBF. It has to. Like shit. Who else is Ennis gonna fight? That's a good fight.
They got to give us Blair versus Rowley.
Man, I need Blair Cobbs versus Terrence Crawford. That's what I need.
Did Dana White
chill?
Did Dana White come out with that slapping league before or after he got caught beating on his wife? When did that happen?
He was just practicing for power slap, bro. He wasn't even serious.
So
Hey,
you're
did you
saying
guys see
so
that
it
video
wasn't
of that
even
guy's
like
face that like swelled up like a freaking Chinese grapefruit? I mean,
Yeah,
Yo, I
like,
seen
his
that
face
shit.
took a
Yo,
turn.
dog, one slap did that, bro.
yeah,
One
that
slap.
was like, oh my god, I
That
couldn't
dude
believe
won
that.
too. He came back and won.
Did he?
Yeah,
Shit.
he won.
Really?
He won
Bro,
the championship. He beat the dude. The dude called Uncle. He beat him.
Bro, that dude probably used all that prize money in hospital bills, bro. Motherfucking has anybody heard news on the Latino emo and the half pint toy Tank lately? I know the Tank has the trial, but is there anything new? Well, Oscar, I read an article. Oscar, he seems very much enthusiastic. He's saying it's going to happen, so we have to operate on that assumption that until we hear otherwise, it's going to happen. Can Al Heyman leave boxing and start a slap league like Dana White? I don't see why not.
We still have to wait till
Maybe it'll
February
get him the
12th.
hell out of boxing.
We have no idea what's
Bro,
going to happen.
Al would
on
stop the
February
best
12th.
slap fights from happening.
For probably right.
Yeah, he would.
Hold up. So go fucking pro ping pong or some shit.
Yeah, man, go do snooker or some shit, billiards or some other sport. Go fuck up some other sport, bro. Get out of boxing, bro. Which brings me to another thing, man. You notice that if these fights take place, if Tim Tszyu and Tony Harrison actually takes place, it won't be on the PBC's dime, right? It's going to be on No Limit Promotions in Australia. They'll be helming promotion. And if Stephen Fulton versus Naoya Inoue happens, once again, it won't be on the PBC's dime. It'll be on Akihiko Honda's dime. They're the ones who are helming promotion. So is the PBC outsourcing these fighters, or are they now more open to outsourcing those fighters because they ain't got the bread for them? Is that what we're looking at?
They have no choice.
Going out of
Based
business
on
sale.
that-
Look at how many
based on that-
pay-per-views they're putting up.
Based on that Wall Street Journal article I sent you today, Jules, we know the answer to that.
Yeah, we do. I mean, I looked at 4 pay-per-views happening in sequence, and that off top tells me that's something's wrong. If it was 4 pay-per-views spaced out, I wouldn't think nothing is wrong. But it's 4 pay-per-views back to back.
They're like big lots. Everything is marked down.
Yo, Benavidez versus Plant, that doesn't do over 150.
I don't
160. 160 max. 160 max.
Bro, you're too generous. Let it do 50 plus.
Oscar said that he think Ryan and Javante will do 2.5 million at the box.
He's bugging.
He is bugging.
He's
but I
on that
want to hear what
COVID.
the panel got to say. I'm gonna start at the bottom. Drew, what does it do at the box office?
600 to 800.
Wow.
They're just here's the thing. Based on pay-per-views not selling like they used to, there's no bankable A-list star in this. I don't care what anybody says. Tank or Ryan are not A-list stars. There's no big corporate sponsors other than the ones Ryan's bringing.
Ryan got fucking. Don't he got?
So that's what I'm saying. Other than the ones Ryan's bringing, Ryan's not an A-list celebrity yet.
Yeah, you're right. Not yet.
Neither is Tank. And if we don't get Oscar and Floyd going back and forth and Ellerby there, I don't give a fuck what we say about them. That's Oscar and Floyd talking shit with Ellerby in there saying we broke the records, and the fan bases that support both those guys, they're good for another 200,000, 300,000 pay-per-view buys. Just them promoting alone.
Let me go to
those guys aren't there, and the nostalgia of that. That's a hindering on what it can do to me.
All right, so Wab, what does this fucking thing do at the box office?
Before that, I think Tank's Corp pay-per-views are going to do maybe about 1.2, 1.3 million. You need to broadcast that. To be fair, I would have to say it is a big. I think it is a big fight in America for, I would say 5K or 500, 5 to 600.
Wow.
Possibly.
Wow. All right, JBN. What the fuck does it do on pay-per-view?
I agree.
I think it's gonna do that too.
Yeah, good point, man.
Yep.
Let me go to Martin. Martin, what does the shit do on pay-per-view, bro?
I think Davis is going to break a record of 400.
Nobody thinks it's gonna do 1 million, bro. Let me go to Julio. Julio, does this shit do 1 million buys?
350. I'm going
What?
350 conservatively.
Conservatively. Wow, y'all just saying shit.
Bro,
y'all just saying shit.
I think I think it's gonna do 350 conservative and then 500 max. Cause like what I think it's gonna do a great gate, but like who says that Ryan Garcia is pay-per-view star? And Gervonta's barely doing 200K. I don't like
sometimes when you get two guys together, a fight takes on a life of its own. Sometimes
but like most people don't know who they are. Like to Drew's point about nostalgia, like most of Ryan's fans are like little girls. Like they don't know who Oscar is. They've probably been like ogled by Oscar at the mall or something. They don't actually know who he is. Like they don't know who Floyd is. Like look at Floyd's fucking numbers he's doing on with these exhibitions. People have checked out.
Oh, they're bad, bro. They're bad.
I think the undercard's got to play a big role in it too. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but who they gonna put on the undercard, bro?
That's what I'm
Jaron
saying.
Ennis, who nobody knows, or Frankie Sanchez, who nobody
Exactly.
knows?
Like, where's the evidence that they're gonna do 1 million buys? Like 500. If they do 500, that's a huge success.
I mean, it depends on what it costs. Look, in reality, it doesn't have to sell 1 million to be successful, and that's the truth. It all depends on what it costed you to do it, and based on that, it's a success or not.
Yep.
So if it didn't cost you crazy money to get them both in the ring, like let's say, I don't know, 15 million in guaranteed purses, or even 20 million, then you don't necessarily have to sell 1 million pay-per-view buys to cover that. So
Yeah, and the gate's gonna be a monster. The gate's gonna be a monster. I think that's pretty clear. But like, look at the PBC's last fight with Showtime's last fight with Tank and Garcia. The open workout was at a fucking rec center. I saw Jerron Boots like shadow boxing in front of a basketball hoop, and I'm like, okay, yeah, I get the business model. I get the business model now.
Bro, I also think it's got to be in Vegas, man. For even to
definitely.
crack something, got to be in Vegas.
Fly
man.
the hose in. It's a hit.
No, it has to be like for the big fight feel. It wouldn't feel right if you did it on the West Coast. It wouldn't feel right if you did it on the East. You got to do it in Vegas. You have to. It wouldn't feel right any other way, and that's the town for that. But I'm gonna go against the grain, and I'm gonna say it does 1 million. I'm gonna say that because I could see all the people that don't normally watch boxing jumping on for this one. Not just us, not just guys that watch damn near every fight, but I can really see people that they don't normally watch boxing. The only boxing match they ever saw was Rocky versus Drago. I could see those people showing up for this fight.
Then they got to go to the East Coast, West Coast, Gulf Coast just to even promote that to make 1 million.
I personally,
what was your Wilder Helenius prediction again?
Oh, knockout, bro.
No. Pay-per-view prediction.
No, pay-per-view.
Oh, right. Yo, you got me. That's a fair point. I was wrong. I thought it would do very good. I thought it would do good numbers, and you know what? You're right. It really didn't. It really
and then
didn't.
it's like
That's what
Brian's
I'm saying.
fans
Look,
are young. Like they don't jive with the fucking pay-per-view model. Like they're not gonna go to Showtime. They're gonna see those little kids are gonna see the $75 price tag.
Stealing shit. It be the young guys that stealing shit because they know where to
Facts.
get all the links.
That fight's
That's what I'm saying. Look, let me just say this: if KSI has 20 million on one thing and about 10 on the other and 10 on the thing on the Sidemen channel and all combined and all those other influencers that were on there combined, they had almost 100 million subscribers on all platforms. If he can only do 500 to 400 pay-per-view sales and it's £12.99 in the UK, what the fuck do you think they have a chance, bro?
Exactly.
Tank and Garcia.
Villain, what the fuck does this do at the box office, bro?
I hate to tell you, but you're wrong. You're wrong about this. You were wrong about the Wilder too. This is not going to do 1 million. This fight is going to do. You're going to get the combination of the casual who's going to follow a guy like Ryan and also Tank, right? You're going to get those combination, and then you're going to get like the hardcores who actually pay for it. The fight's going to do between 400 and 500,000.
Come on,
no,
bro.
Where's it going to come from? Tell me where the buyers are going to come
where's
from.
the evidence that people would pay for a Ryan fight?
You know what the thing is? I guess I feel.
But we know how we do about feelings on this show, sir.
That is true. We don't give
Your
a fuck.
feelings
about
don't matter, bro.
That is true.
We need a silver lining.
Bro, where's Leo when you need him?
Michael, what the fuck is this fight gonna do?
Honestly, max 750. Max. No, we get max 700.
Bro, Wilder versus Fury 2 sold 800,000 bars. You telling me this can't come close to that?
Bro, that's Wilder
that
versus
was off like a huge build up, and they already had a fight before that. There was like interest behind it.
There was
but then you have the
controversy.
the always loyal British boxing fan base who are gonna pay.
That is true.
Like,
and the haters of Anthony Joshua were watching that.
That is true.
That fight had controversy because it was a draw. It was the first time that Deontay Wilder ever looked "quote unquote" human, meaning he looked beatable. You got a guy who's a former champion who runs his mouth, right? You had the United States versus the foreigner fight as well too. There's a lot of things. So the second one had a lot of buildup. Now, what I will say is if they put on a good show, it's a controversial fight. Somebody gets knocked down, somebody looks human, it's a draw, it's a close split decision. The second fight could be like that Deontay Wilder versus Tyson Fury second fight. You could see then maybe 750,000 fights if the first one goes off well.
Yeah, and then it's also a heavyweight fight. It's the USA versus UK.
That is true.
This is Victorville versus fucking Baltimore. Like
Victor.
Is that $1 million? Is that $1 million?
What did the first pay-per-view do?
Oh shit, bro!
Well, I think people are dying for like a good mega fight. When's the last time we had a good mega fight?
You know what this shit is? There's a mega fight. There's a fight that I know that it would sell. I know. I know. Like
Crawford and Ortiz.
Jordan Beterbiev.
I'm telling you, it's Crawford and Ortiz. I'm not kidding, bro. 400 to 500,000 bars. I'm not kidding, because that's not no dummy ass fight. Ortiz stands a chance, and he is a good fighter. He is a good fighter. Like, it's not like it's some bum fight. That kid is a good fighter. He does stand a chance, at least enough of a chance that people will believe it and they will buy it. And Bud, you know, he good for 100,000. He good for 100,000, 100 and some change.
Bro, that's an actual like passing the torch on kind of fight. A young guy versus a undisputed champ, three division.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
he doesn't beat Crawford.
And he's an up and coming champion.
But
Ortiz hasn't fought though. He needs to fight at least something, right? Before that, or what?
No, see, he is gonna fight though. Él va a pelear con ese tipo that looks like One Punch Man, bro. The dude.
Yeah, they rescheduled it for April.
They rescheduled. Yeah.
They rescheduled that. He is gonna fight. So
One Punch Man is crazy.
You
he
have
do
to
look like
look.
One Punch Man, bro.
You have to look too that Virgil Ortiz. Let's just call it what it is. Virgil Ortiz, young guy. He's Latino.
Yep.
Latino boxing fans. I mean, they will support. They will come out.
And he plays the fucking guitar, bro. Like he's a very nice kid, man. Very nice
Do you
kid.
think Virgil Stanionis is a big fight? Like makes big numbers then?
No,
I think no, it's not big numbers. Like we're not talking box office, but respectable turnout at the gate. Yes, I think in Grand Prairie, Texas, that gets a respectable turnout. I do.
Yeah.
The thing too is Ortiz. Ortiz was really smart because his last fight or two fights before, after the weigh-in, he literally stood inside the auditorium and took a photograph or signed autographs for every single person who waited. So a dude like that, I'm saying a dude like that wants to build his name. And if you put that fight in Texas, as much as I would say don't have Bud go to Texas, I would say, yeah, that's where the fight would have to go. You put that in Arlington and Dallas Cowboy Stadium, you're gonna get a big turnout. It'll do good. You'll do good numbers too. PPV.
I still got Crawford winning though.
I agree.
I think Crawford.
I
think Crawford will knock him out.
I didn't say he was going to win. I just said it all right.
I'm from Dallas, and I hear Ortiz and Grand Prairie's 30 minutes from me, and I tell them, man, Terrence Crawford's still gonna whoop his ass.
He would though. But
respect to Virgil though.
But the shit is, I would still fuck with him just for fighting him, because my thing is this: if that were to actually happen, you know what I'm gonna do? Oh, so Virgil got more balls than Spence is what Virgil got more balls than Spence, huh?
Yeah, this kid stepped up and Errol didn't.
I'm gonna break all your hearts, you know, all your hardcore boxing fans, and I'm gonna break your heart. You know, up and coming, hopefully in December, it looks like KSI versus Jake Paul. That is gonna break records, bro.
Nah, I'm gonna be. I got.
That's gonna
Bob,
break.
I got a question. What's the bigger fight? Listen, what's the bigger fight? Garcia versus Davis or KSI versus Paul?
Yo, you can't compare
KSI versus Jake Paul. Easy, bro.
You can't compare the
because of the UK fans.
Yo, fam, Jake is not about to fight KSI. He about to fight Tommy fucking Fredo Fury, bro.
Yeah, in December they're negotiating. In December.
Who you think gonna win that fight?
But KSI is my boy. I can't doubt him, man. I've been watching him since childhood.
KSI, but Jake will fuck.
So Wob, Salt Papi will whoop his ass. So you
go 100%. I know that. Salt Papi, bro. Salt Pappy is another bro. He's a demon, bro. Trust me, he's
Fucking
a
demon, bro.
undercover professional fighter. Trust me, bro. This guy is
he
too good.
beats all of them. He beats all of them bad.
100%, bro. He beats
That
Jake. He beats
motherfucker
every
got
single person.
squabbles, bro. The way he throw his hands, like, oh, you been fighting. You ain't even playing.
He had
You
an experience. He had an early experience.
For
you
real.
know, when I saw his second fight, I was like, bro, this guy is a fighter. He's a boxer. No fuckery.
Let me read the super chat. Tyree says PBC is Section 8 boxing now. They the wick check of boxing, bro. The can of beans and the cereal.
That brought memories back.
They get a wick check of boxing, bro. Virgil says the whole West Coast Chicanos is behind Virgil. I believe it because he actually is a good fighter. It's not the same with him and Ryan. Ryan is popular because he do a lot of social media shit. He's terminally on the internet. With Virgil, no, it's organic. This kid is a real good fighter. Like, no bullshit, no hype. He's a real good fighter, like, on some real shit. He'll fuck up a lot of people. So, well, for that, I think it would do all right. But then again, I have been wrong.
I'm gonna tell you this.
We can't knock him because he has balls, just like Lee Wood and whatnot, you know?
That fight does between 600,000 and 700,000 at best, and that's because of all the YouTube followers and all that.
Yo, that shit might do $1 million country because they have a lot of subscribers, bro. And they're gonna
KSI but Paul?
Bro, think about it this way. They have an advantage that a lot of other people don't have because they already have that consumer base. You're talking about Jake Paul, who has millions of subscribers.
Talking about that.
Yeah, millions of subscribers, millions of followers, right? He doesn't need somebody to advertise any, even though he's going to have them. He can advertise it on his own fucking channel. KSI can advertise it on his own
It's not even that, bro.
My question is, would it be on Showtime or DAZN?
Nah, he not with Showtime no more, bro. He left them.
Listen,
They have people invested in who they are. Like, when KSI fought his brother, he did 1 million pay-per-view buys.
KSI is with DAZN. Jake Paul is with ESPN by way of PFL. He not with Showtime no more. He done with them.
Okay, thank you.
Bro, let me say this. Jake Paul versus KSI is going to do 2.5 to 3 million pay-per-views. Let me tell you why. Because after he had the Joe Weller fight, his first fight, he called out Jake. They have history. He fucked up his brother. He won, and now his best friend was. And don't forget, Logan Paul is going to be on there. So Pappy's all the big influencers. And Nishan Gibb, they're going to dash out money. Bro. They're going to pay.
Should be the undercard. Salt Poppy versus Logan should be the undercard.
KSI versus Logan did 1 million buys, bro. Like,
that's nuts, bro.
Like a million worldwide buys. Like, yeah, they're gonna break the bank.
That's still good. Like, they try. Like, I saw you know, when DAZN did the pay-per-view for Canelo versus Golovkin, and they tallied worldwide buys, even though most of the buys were in America, about 800,000. And look, money is money, bro. That's still 1 million people paying for that shit. Still 1 million.
Yeah, that's I think it did like 800,000 in the US, but
that's still money. I'm supposed to thank Tank, who just sold 61,000 and has never hit 300,000. Will fight a dude that never been on pay-per-view. Will sell 2 million?
Nah. Facts. Like, he's going from an average of 200,000 to now 2 million just from one fight.
That is true.
And no one really knows Ryan's pay-per-view potential, really. They know he does well at the gate, but like, how many people are willing to pay big bucks for him?
The thing is that the people that fuck with him are TikTokers and liberals and all that shit.
People who interior design.
He said liberals.
Bro, I say that fight does.
Who fuck with him? Like, people that talk about like their mental health and shit. That's who fuck with him. Like, are those the people that pay to see fighting? No.
The kettles.
It's people who are passionate about interior design. Like, they don't give a fuck
like
about
feng shui and shit like that. Like, and they not violent people.
How many yogis are gonna buy boxing pay-per-views?
And you know, I've always wondered that about Ryan, that look, he does have a robust social media following, but how much does that actually translate into buys? How much? Because you've never been on pay-per-view, so we really don't know.
Yeah, it's a big question, but also he's doing the right thing because like one of the reasons that like boxing like contracted a little is because all the fans are like older guys, whereas MMA has grown because their fans are like younger.
That is true. At least in America, that's definitely true. That is definitely true, that there's not a wave of young men that are watching boxing, at least not here. In other places, I see that the sport is actually growing because they have Olympians and amateurs that, you know, they didn't used to compete before, Iron Curtain, all the bullshit. But in America, you're absolutely right that the young guys, they started gravitating towards UFC, so they had a second generation of fans and a third generation of fans. Whereas in boxing, it's mostly old guys like us.
Well, I don't know. I see more celebrities.
I see
talking about
Ryan's
UFC
pay-per-view buys as Jake Paul's pay-per-view in comparison to the social media bullshit, and then add on Tank Davis buys, right? Still not 300,000.
I mean, it could be though, because it's like, look, he is an unapologetic like sissy type. Like he'll do the TikTok dances and all that shit. He'll do the lip syncing. I seen that he do all of that young shit. And I'm like, if he fighting and it's on pay-per-view, they not gonna fuck with him? They not gonna fuck with him?
It's because it's the delivery system though. Like young people don't fuck with pay-per-views like that. They steal.
No, they damn sure do. They damn sure do. If this fight does over 1 million, PBC better thank Ryan and his teeny boppers, because we all know Tank fans will only account for 61,000, bruh.
Yeah. Worst case scenario, Ryan gives the PBC another year or two in business. Which
another life. Love the unbiased boxing talk. Now we low key being biased right now because we all hate Ryan and we all hate Javante.
Oh, I'm a super hater. I'm a fan.
I hate those guys.
Ryan, bro. My young guys, my guy ain't Bam from San Antonio. Bam is from San Antonio, right? Bam Rodriguez.
I think so. Yeah, he's up.
That's
yes, he's from San Antonio.
That's my hitter from Texas. Is Bam? That's my hitter. You know,
he's fighting in March, right?
Yeah. He got he about to fight for the BO at flyweight. He about to fight for the vacant BO. If I got a fighter in Texas, 2 fighters in Texas that I really like. Well, 3. It's Mel Charlo, motherfucking Virgil Ortiz, Grand Prairie, and motherfucking. Those is the guys in Texas that I like. Other than that,
I thought you were a really big fan of Jamal. I'm so disappointed.
Nah, I mean, I had to give up on Jamal. I had to give up.
Don't mess with Texas.
I don't know what's going to happen with him, bro. I really don't.
They need to strip him. That's all I know. They need to strip his ass.
They really do, though. Like, it's been over a year. Like, really, though. Like what's happening?
He legitimately said, sorry to interrupt. He legitimately said that he didn't know when he's going to return to boxing. Isn't that a pretty telltale sign that whenever the champion says, "Listen, I have no future, I have no future time or thought or idea when I'm going to be boxing again."
So his wife was right.
Yeah, Regis Prograis came out and said, like, yeah, Jamal said that he's been going through like tough outside.
I thought we were talking about Jamal. Who the fuck cares about Jamal?
Listen, bro. Just a couple of months ago when he was going through it with his wife, that is not his wife no more. She said he might not come back. She said that.
Yes, she did.
So why don't they strip him, man? It's like,
so he got a divorce or some shit?
I mean, like, look, she was talking a lot of shit. You know, she's talking a lot of shit. Like, she say he's stupid motherfucker. They foreclosing on the house. He don't even know if he gonna come back to boxing. Stupid motherfucker. She said a lot of shit.
I mean, if the dude
is he busting that mental health issue?
I mean,
well, Regis said that's what one of the issues was with him not coming back.
Jay said,
outside of boxing shit.
In all seriousness, if that dude is down bad, like mentally, emotionally, something bad, I pray for him. I hope he's good, man. I mean,
I mean, like, all jokes aside, like we talk shit, but I don't know nothing bad on him.
Nothing bad. I felt sad for him when he went up to Bevo asking him, let's fight at 168. Me and you for undisputed.
Oh, that was like when the homeless person like offers like clean.
Shake my head, bro.
That was like low key.
You know that people got hype off for that, and I'm like, yo, read the comments in that in these videos. Yeah, Charlo versus Bevo.
Bro, that's the same energy.
Idiot.
Bro. It's like when the homeless guy offers to clean your windshield, and you're like, all right, bro, I got a couple dollars. Appreciate it.
Yeah, bro, like that shit was cringe, bro. Like. You know, Bevo thought he was Mel.
Yeah, he thought he was Mel.
Oh, shit.
He wasn't even know.
He said undisputed. He was like, what belts do you have?
He started talking about Madrimov, B, and that's what I realized. Like, yo, he think he Mel. Man. He don't know that that's small.
Nah, because, like, the Eastern Europeans are low-key funny, though. Like, Usyk and Beterbiev, they're low-key, like, shit talkers, so I don't know. Maybe he was being funny.
Nah, I really think he did.
Belly. I love Usyk calling him Belly.
Belly. Yo, man. Yo, look, man. If Usyk win that fight, man, ooh. I'm gonna be so happy because I hate Tyson Fury. Fucking tired of him, bro.
He's got a good chance, bro. I think he's got a good chance.
Tired of him, man, and I'm just tired of this idea that he's all these things because he beat Wilder. Like, bro, it's just Wilder.
I'm waiting for Usyk's deadline since AJ had one. I'm just,
man, you know they don't play by the same rules.
Come on,
with AJ, like you get to fight Chisora, who you already beat 2 times. You get to fight him for a third just to keep busy. Motherfucking Wilder get to fight a sparring partner. But if AJ picked Kirk Franklin, it got to be a problem. If he picked Kirk Franklin, that's some bullshit.
Jay, my question is Usyk as big or compared to like a Fury? Because I see Fury just hugging the shit out of him, getting every opponent tired for the last 3 fights almost. Right?
Look, he's not
a tactic. I get it. It's a tactic, but still, Usyk is small in a way.
But you got to catch him to hug him, though. To initiate the clinch, you got to catch him. And that's why I'm like, nah, he has a chance because the guys that he was clinching, like Wilder, for example, he'll jab, clinch, or cover up, get around the right hand and get under the right.
He did it to Dylan. He did it to, Chisora.
Son tipos que no se pueden mover tampoco. They can't move like those guys. Really don't move like that. They don't have good feet. And I'm like, is this dude really that easy to catch?
Julius, I got the best example. Have you ever tried to catch a chicken? Have you ever been to a farm? Have you ever been to a farm and tried to catch a chicken?
Nah. Is it hard?
I tried catching rabbits, and it's hard.
Bro, it's fucking hard. So that's Usyk.
I just don't feel like the underlying principle and why he was able to, like, for example, do that to Wilder is that Wilder's flat-footed. He's not good on the back foot. He's not flat-footed. He's not coordinated. This guy's the opposite of that. This guy isn't flat-footed. He stays on the balls of his feet the whole fight. And his whole shit is moving around. That's his whole shit. So I'm like, is he really going to be there for you to – is he really going to be there? We'll see. We'll see. Yeah, I mean, we'll see. WMMA says Ryan fans put their pronouns in their Twitter too. Yeah, he, she, they, all that dumb weird shit. Let me. I don't want to
You almost let that shit slip out.
You're in trouble. I just realized
you're about to get the they them community after you.
Yeah, them they thems is gonna fuck me up, man.
They were finna jump you.
For real, yo, they watch all type of shit, like what he said. You know what I mean? Shit, Andrew Tate and all of that. They mad at him. They trying to frame him.
Big time, yeah.
Trying to get him, man. I don't know what the fuck he said. All he told motherfuckers to do was work out. You got to go to jail for that? That's crazy.
He didn't like it because you know why? He was talking against like the politically correct crowd and all the rest, and telling men to be men and that being masculine was a good thing and that's not toxic, and they got pissed off.
Yeah, because I heard that they holding him over there, but they don't actually have any evidence of anything, but they're still holding him.
They're holding him for like him and his brother for 30 days is what it is.
That's fucking crazy, bro.
But see, they got different laws from here. I mean, it's Romania. So
I know, but it's like, damn, you really gonna hold him for a month and you don't even got nothing on him?
You know, the U.S. and the U.K. governments are probably behind that shit, bro.
They gotta be, bro. They want the they thems in power. You can't be telling motherfuckers to get swole out here and get pussy. They get mad at that. Like, no, don't get pussy.
They can keep him for up to 180 days in jail.
Wow. They want the they them Zers motherfuckers in power.
Yeah, them they thems. They want motherfuckers fucking painting their nails and shit, bro.
Bro, in the UK schools, they are teaching about Andrew Tate and how negative he is. They're doing lessons in school, in secondary school and primary school.
And I'm gonna be real. I watched his content, right? And I'm gonna keep it a bean, not even playing. There's nothing negative that dude said. I'm not exaggerating. If you watch what he say, he literally telling you to work out and get money. That's what he telling. Like literally,
it's mostly the shit he says about women.
And fuck these hoes. He said, yeah, fuck these hoes. Like, man, bitch, if you want to have a 300 body count, ain't nobody gonna want you. And that's true. Motherfuckers don't want you. They might want to fuck you, but they don't want you. That's a fact. You mad that he's saying what motherfuckers is thinking?
A girl my age, she's 20, right? She's like, she's my classmate, or she was in high school. She's 20 and she doesn't know how many bodies she's at already.
That's
She's lost
sad,
count.
bro.
She's lost count.
And I'm
That's
telling
sad.
you, like, and it's not like he said, like, I could see if he was levying an attack on a particular group of people, like the they thems. I've seen the shit that he says. He don't be bothering them. He just telling you get swole,
Well,
get money, control your shit, control your bitch. That's all he's saying. You telling me y'all
Well,
trying to cancel this dude because he telling you to control your bitch?
Julius, from looking at a person, you can tell if they like Andrew Tate or if they hate Andrew Tate. And isn't that sad, bro? If you got pink hair, blue hair, or a little feminine, bro, you
Yep.
just know.
It's always the blue hair motherfuckers. It's
And
always-
if they're fat,
Or the male feminists.
yes.
The bullshit that dude said was true. All y'all datums, y'all fake as shit. Because if it's going down, who you gonna call? You gonna call a motherfucker like me to sort it out. If somebody trying to whoop your ass, you saying that you against violence. Bang. So if you against violence, what you gonna do? You ain't gonna fight. What you are gonna do is call somebody to fight for you, the police. And what kind of people are they? Oh, well, they people that work out. So you really not against violence, and you really not against motherfuckers working out, because you'll get a motherfucker that work out to help you out. So you don't gotta do nothing.
What you just described was exactly what politicians are doing now, where they're talking poorly about you, like trying to own a gun, protect your family. But yet when they walk down the street, they got 6 people around them surrounded with guns.
Yeah.
And you know what the weirdest thing is, bro? I'm not into the, I'm really not into the political scene, but it is a statistical matter of fact. The states in this country that have the most gun laws have the most gun violence. That's not my imagination. That is a fact.
And the
That
most
is a
crime.
fucking fact.
And the most crime on top
The
of
most
it.
crime and the most gun violence. Whereas the states where you're allowed to carry, so long as you're a responsible gun owner,
People
they
are
actually
chill.
have less gun violence. They have less. It's the truth, though. They have less gun violence because you less likely to act if you know you gonna fuck around and get shot.
Yep.
You less likely to act.
Jules, and also look at the country like Dubai or UAE or Saudi Arabia or Qatar or these places. You fuck about there, bro. You're finished. The government will fuck you up.
The wall, I want to move to the wall, bro. You know
Bro,
what I'm talking
that's why
about?
nobody dares. In Dubai, bro, I left my car on with the keys inside, with the roof down, with my bag inside. I come back, everything's there, bro. No one's taking it because they're shit
Oh, I
scared
want
because
to
they
move
know
to the
they'll
wall.
fuck you up.
You heard about the wall they building? The wall. It's a city, but it's built like a wall.
It stretches for miles, bro.
Where
I
is
want
this
to move
at?
in that
71
shit.
miles.
I want to
Where's the
move in
wall
that
at?
shit. That's the future.
Hey, Jules, where's the wall at?
It's in where is it?
Saudi.
They built. They already started building it too, country.
Middle of a desert, bro. Middle of a desert for miles.
And it's just gonna go on for miles and miles and miles. And it's a wall. It's made out of like glass and shit. Like the outside look like a mirror, but it's a wall, and it's gonna have everything in there, bro. I want to move into that shit for the apocalypse and all of that. That's gonna be dope. That is.
I thought you were gonna go back to your home planet for the apocalypse, Jules.
Well, before I leave, because when shit go down, I'm like, get the fuck out of here, bro.
Will you take us all with you to survive the apocalypse?
It's real shit out here, B. It's going down like, but nah, it's just so weird to me that I see the hate that dude get, and I have actually seen the things that he say, and I'm like, that dude didn't say nothing against no bitches. He really didn't, though. All he's saying is that motherfucker not gonna want you, which is true. That is true, though. Motherfucker know you got 500 bodies. That motherfucker ain't gonna want you. So you do what you want, because can't nobody stop you. But you can't make motherfuckers like you. Neither like ain't nobody trying to cuff you.
Julius, it's a matter of fact, bro. I think 70 or 60% of the people that are in jail are from the single mothers.
For real.
Where the dad's not there in their lives. And there's loads of crimes that happens, bro. There's loads of shit, bro.
Do you understand the statistical facts of single motherhood when it comes to children who don't have two parents in the house? everything that's negative, meaning gun violence, gang violence, suicide, not graduating high school, not attending college, more likely to go to jail, more likely to go to jail again and reaffirm. All that stuff has been proven to be tied to not even just if it's a man or a woman in a household, meaning that there's not two parents that are involved in a child's life. That is all factually statistical
facts, bro. But the other shit is the dating shit, because that seems to be an area that he put in particular and a lot of other podcasters talked about. And it's like motherfuckers is mad at him for saying what a motherfucker in the street to tell you, like, no, bitch, motherfucker don't want you. Like, go be strong by yourself, bitch. You fucking strong. Go be strong by yourself, bitch. Fuck you think this is? Like, if you got all them bodies and you out here acting like a guy, nah, motherfucker ain't gonna want you because you independent. I ain't gonna be independent over there, bitch. You are gonna die alone.
You want to know something funny about? You want to know something funny about those type of women? They hate men, right? But yet, what are they acting like?
Man,
the very thing they hate. Man. That's what cracks me up, man. It's like, you gotta be kidding me, man.
And I'm like, I don't like to like when you have your children and your wife and your home life and all those different things are blessings. Like I look at them as blessings. That's what they are, because it could be worse. All those things are blessings. But like, I'm not knocking people that want to live that way, but I'm just saying that how does a dude get canceled, or how does a dude get vilified for saying what the average man would tell you, though? Like, like, no, I'm not gonna cuff no joint like that.
Oh, no. See, but this is all that they come up with, that bullshit toxic masculinity, and it's not.
Man, bitch, toxic masculinity built the fucking apartment complex, the house you live in, the skyscraper, the condo.
The whole fucking city, the whole everything, the whole fucking country and shit, man. I mean,
you ain't no toxic femininity.
When you call because your pipes are backed up in your house, who shows up?
Men.
Okay, when your electricity is not working right.
Next 10 years, some soft motherfuckers.
Nah, because I swear to God, on God, te lo digo, these kids from today don't know how to change a flat tire. If you tell them, they don't. No, they don't. They don't. They wouldn't know what to. Oh my God, what are we gonna do?
Call an Uber.
Hey, real quick. You want to hear something? I ran across these two chicks one time, right? And apparently, I guess a big old like American roach, a sewer roach, got in their car and they were freaked out, right? So they asked me if I could help them out. So I go over there, I grabbed the towel, grabbed the roach, got it out, got rid of it, shook the towel out, gave it back to them. They just acted like they expected me to do it, didn't even say thank you, and walked away.
I'm trying to tell you the value of dudes, and this is the funny shit, because I've been watching a lot of different podcasts about this shit. And then I see other trends that are happening in the American populace, that a lot of the men are actually outsourcing the wives. They're going to foreign countries.
Oh, and they're pissed.
And they're marrying women abroad because the women are more feminine and they're more cooperative. And less
women are pissed.
Yeah, and I've been, just reading and seeing about it and watching stuff about it. And the broads over here is real mad. It's like, but bitch, who you think gonna want to deal with all that shit you got? Everything is daddy issues. What if I told you that my man Kevin Samuels said it best?
Yep.
The world don't owe you understanding.
The world doesn't owe you understanding. One of my favorite quotes ever.
That, like, I swear to God, like when he said that shit, it's like a fucking cloud open up or some shit. Like,
dude, I loved watching Kevin Samuels. He would blast them broads left and right.
But he would blast it. But the funny shit is he would blast, because it's like, yo, what sucker ass generation is this that y'all think that because you got problems that motherfuckers supposed to feel sorry for you? Everybody got problems though. Everybody.
A lot of these chicks, they'd sit there and think, like, they'd tell them, oh, well, what do you think you are? Like, oh, I'm like a 9, a 10. And they end up breaking them off. And then they're just looking at them bewildered, like they don't know what to say.
Yo, the funny shit is, look, they'll shit on a dude in a minute. This was the shit that I seen. I was like, well, let me sit down and watch this shit. They'll shit on a dude in a minute if a dude got some and they're not even flaws. We are who we are. Some of us are tall, some of us are short, some of us are fat, some of us are not, some of us are swole. So it is what it is. We are who we are. But the chicks will point that out on a dude in a minute. But let you say something about a bitch.
You ever seen?
No. Hey, check this out real quick. There was this chick, right? And what she did, she ended up disguising herself as a man. and lived as a
Yes.
man and wrote a book about it. And she
And
couldn't
committed
handle how
suicide.
she was treated in the end. She ended up committing suicide.
Hey, don't
But
use
she wrote a
don't
book
use that word.
about
Don't use that word because that word could get
Yeah. Don't get me flagged.
Yeah,
Oh,
don't
I'm
use that
sorry,
word.
But I heard about
delete.
that. I did hear about that, and like it's
She
like
couldn't handle how she was treated like a man. She couldn't
that's what
handle
I'm. That I think that they really don't know that we get treated like pieces of shit from the moment we born till like yo, you just get treated like a piece of shit. The motto that men live by is "you on your own."
The realistic thing is this: that the average man in the world has no merit. A man has to build himself to get any sort of attention, right? That is a fact. Like what you're, the kind of woman you're going to get, the kind of job you're going to get, like all your accolades have to be earned as a man before you're going to get noticed. If you don't do anything, if you're the guy who's sitting on the couch, your mom's couch, or you're working at Burger King or whatever else, nobody's going to look at you. You're going to be completely invisible. If you are just if you are a halfway decent looking woman and you're thin or thin enough, you're going to get dudes in your DMs all the time. Someone's going to always want to take you out to eat.
Oh yeah, you're going to get a shit ton of beta males.
That's why I advocate for the next generation of men. We got to teach all our young brothers cheat on these broads, cheat on all of them, cheat on them, treat them bad, fuck them, treat them bad, treat them like shit. I'm trying to tell you, yo, because this generation, this crop of kids is terrible, bro. They're terrible. I would hate to be in today's dating scene.
Julius, and it's funny, these trans men, so-called.
Hey, don't get me in trouble, bro.
Okay, all right. That's what I'm saying. These people that turn into men, but
Transformers.
But then they don't want to. I think, bro, they don't want to take anything that the man goes through. They still want to be all feminine. They still want to do all that bullshit, but they don't want to do what the man does.
Not because being a guy is more than wearing a flannel shirt.
Yep.
It is. Being a man is more than growing a beard.
You got to deal with a lot more shit. And then to top it off, sometimes your woman will get you into shit or start shit, and then you got to deal with it. You know? How many times has that happened to a lot of men, you know?
Yo, I'm telling you, motherfucker get shot over shit like that because we are living in a world where weak men talk the loudest. You see it all the time, and it never fails to make me sick.
Yep.
Yo, B. It's the times, bro. What's that saying? Hard times breed
hard people.
Hard people. No. Hard salami breeds.
Hard times breeds hard men, whereas soft times breeds soft men.
Yeah, but it's cyclical though. It's like the proverb is cyclical. It's like hard.
I got it right here. Tough times create strong men. Strong men create easy times. Easy times create weak men. Weak men create tough times.
There you go. Because it's a cycle. It's a cycle. Jessica Sala says, does the WBC force Canelo to satisfy a mandatory, or do they allow him to hold on to the title like Maul Spence without satisfying a mandatory for now? Bueno, manín, tuve la cuestión, ¿verdad? How long has it been since Jamal satisfied a mandatory? El tipo ni peleó el año pasado.
2019?
What is mandatory?
It was Sergey Devinchenko. That was a mandatory, right?
I don't think that was a mandatory, bro. He was coming off a loss and a year layoff. He couldn't have been a mandatory. I'm just saying that if they're willing to let Jamal, who doesn't generate anything, hang on to that belt for this amount of time, you think they're gonna squeeze Canelo? I don't think so. Like, why would they? Like, bro, we let Maul keep his shit. Fucking, we about to let Spence go to 54 to defend the 47 belt, except it ain't even no belt in the fight.
Look how long they let Leo Santa Cruz keep his shit. I mean, come on.
Wouldn't Bailey be his mandatory?
And no, Mbili would actually become the mandatory to the winner of Plant versus Benavidez.
Oh, they're gonna play him.
That's how
I would love to see Canelo fight that guy.
That's how that breaks down, though. That if you see a situation where the WBC doesn't want to squeeze him, right, but you still have the interim, they're gonna order Mbili to fight you. That's what they're gonna do. They're gonna order Mbili. Like, don't be surprised if Carlos Adames end up with a fucking mandatory before Jamal. He might, cause he interim. They might, yeah, bro. They'll do it to him, bro. Like, They not like it's just hard to imagine that the BC going to tell Canelo, look, Canelo, like y'all done been through that, and you see what happened. He told, hey, fuck y'all and take this shit and eat a dick. And they've been apologizing ever since. They've been playing real nice, handling shit with kid gloves. Like they don't want no problems, man. Shit. So I don't really think they're gonna strip him in a nutshell. They haven't stripped Jamal, so why would they strip Canelo? And they have every reason to strip Jamal. Every reason. At minimum to label him a champion in recess, and they haven't even done that. So I feel like they're gonna leave Canelo alone. I do. But we'll see, man. We'll see. You know. It's the BC. Who fucking knows? Got a good fight this weekend. I'm very excited. Very nervous. When you're 38 years old, you could fucking show up looking 38 years old almost overnight. But it's very hard to bet against Artur. I can't do it.
Lose.
Bro, if Artur's gonna lose, it's not gonna be the Yard, bro.
Yeah.
This guy's not that good, man.
Yeah, if he's gonna lose, he's gonna lose a Bivol.
And Yard's a cool guy. Like I don't mind him, but he's not. I don't think he beats Credit Great.
Bro, relatable story. Like I appreciate the fact that he came from the streets and now he's boxing. He inspires a lot of people in London, but his lack of fundamentals is gonna get him fucked up. I think badly.
The main thing for
Fighting
me,
a cyborg, for God's sakes, he's not gonna win.
the main thing for me is that there's everything in this sport is muscle memory, repetition, and I don't think for a second that Yard judges distance better than Beterbiev. Hell no, bro. That dude been fucking people up for ages, bro. He been fucking people up. He just knows his shit.
Is Yard better than Marcus Brown?
No.
Okay, what happened to Marcus Brown?
Yeah, but they're different. They're different fighters, though. That Marcus Brown, his strength is his mobility, his agility, his quickness, and his straight punches. With Yard, what he has that is good, that you would need for a situation like this, is he does have quick counters in the pocket. He does have that. And you would want that if you can catch Beterbiev with some shit, yeah, Whereas Marcus Brown, he's just trying to get away from you and set you up long distance, that as he creates space and you try to close it, he could set you up. It's a different fight. But generally, no, Yard is not better than Marcus Brown. He's not, because Marcus Brown, say what you want, that kid is an Olympian. He not no fucking Joe Blow, some club fighter. That kid is an Olympian. So I do think Brown is better than Yard.
And I don't think you can have very reflex based defense against somebody like Beterbiev. Like that's a disaster bound to happen.
The whole thing to me is that Yard got knocked out with a jab. I don't care about the circumstances. He got knocked out with a freaking jab.
But he was tired. It wasn't like he was hurt though. He was just tired.
And then Beterbiev gets better as the rounds go on. Like it's just a bad matchup all around for him.
Bro, this fight doesn't go past 6 rounds.
I think Beterbiev probably hits a lot harder than Kovalev did.
I agree with that. I definitely agree. I do agree with that. I think the more I think about it, Kovalev should have took care of him early. Your best bet to have beaten him would have been early, but I'll say post 2018, it was already too late. After the Ward fights, now Kovalev wouldn't have beat Beterbiev. By the time Canelo got to him, man, he was pretty much shot. I think he just took that money for a payday. Man, he took that fucking money for a fucking payday. Like shit. Why not? Fuck. I got vodka I need to drink.
That was one of his last money grabs, because he hasn't done much since, has he?
No, I mean he fought Pulev's brother at cruiserweight and beat him. I thought he was gonna get killed. He had a Triller fight. I think it was in 2021 with Tervel Pulev's little brother, and he beat him. He fucking beat him.
So you mean he actually trained for the fight?
I guess. Shit, I thought he was gonna get, and that was a cruiserweight fight. I thought he was gonna get his ass whooped up there, but won that fight.
Do you see anyone on the undercard that you're interested in?
Oh, which undercard?
For a Beterbiev Yard.
No. It's Frank Warner.
It's garbage. But there's one dude that I think you guys should keep an eye out for. Is this guy Karol Tuuma? He's the brother of that heavyweight.
Tuuma, yeah, he's good. He's good.
He looks nice, yeah. He'd be a
that heavyweight kid is gonna be on there?
No. His brother fights at light heavyweight, and I think he's actually pretty decent.
Oh no! Wait a minute. Artem Dalakian is fighting. I want to. I'm interested in his fight. The WBA flyweight champion. I'm interested in his fight. I want to get another look at that guy because I barely ever see that guy fight. Not that I think he's gonna fight the other guys because I don't. I think that I don't know if we're gonna get an undisputed champion at flyweight due to politics. But you never know. You never know. Motherfucking Luis Neri fighting on a Golden Boy show, so anything is possible.
Oh
I thought he was
yeah,
with
I saw
PBC.
that.
I thought he was still with the PBC shit.
I think they dropped him.
I mean, good shit. That means that if he becomes the mandatory, we could get that. I want Inui versus Neri, bro. I want Venganza.
Yes.
I want Venganza.
Neri was talking shit like a couple years ago.
Talking some fly shit, yo. I need that fight.
What about Neri versus MJ?
I would take that. That's a good ass fight.
I
would take that.
That would make fights.
But the fight that he about to have is for the BC though. The fight that he about to have with the Jose, whatever his name is, bro, is for the WBC mandatory.
Well, he wants Fulton.
Yeah, he wants Fulton, but he gonna end up with Inui.
Man, it's that fight gonna happen, bro.
I want it to happen, bro. Like shit, I want it to happen. But boxing is you get used to. If you a boxing fan, you might as well be a Mets fan. Like you used to being let down. If you a boxing fan, you a Mets fan basically. You used to being disappointed. Shit. So I don't know, man. Like I want it to happen, and everything is looking positive. And at the same time, what the fuck does Al have for him? Nothing. And they already talking about Brandon Figueroa versus Mark McMahon, so we know he ain't fighting him, right?
Yeah.
Shit, there go. Shit.
Yeah, if the rumors of him like telling Al to fuck off are true, then I'm hopeful.
I know this fight is about a week off.
Rumors of who telling Al to fuck off?
Fulton, yeah.
I know this
well,
fight.
about time. Shit, one of them got to.
Shit, somebody needs to work. Go ahead, Villa.
I know this fight is a week out, but I'm just curious. What is your thoughts of the Navarrete Liam Wilson fight?
He's gonna knock Wilson out.
Okay.
That's my thoughts in one sentence. He's gonna knock Wilson out.
Well, he did struggle. I mean, Navarrete did struggle. Last time he was out, he didn't look like the same guy, and
I think that's because he was struggling to make 126. That's what I think that was. That's what I think that he's big, bro. Like he was big for 22.
He's huge.
And that coach,
huge
looks good too. The Pedraza versus Barbosa. What's your opinion on that one?
I like that fight because that gives us a chance to rate Barboza against the other guys that have shared the ring with Pedraza. That's why I like that fight. And I honestly, I can't fault Pedraza. I can't fault Barboza for fighting Pedraza because Barboza wanted Lopez, and Lopez, no, I don't want to fight him. I don't want to fight him. You don't want to fight shit, bro. You just trying to survive till the BO is vacant or whatever. You're not trying to fight shit.
And he's taking a good. That's a good fight. Because Pedraza has a good, has a good resume.
No. Look, for Barboza, it's definitely a good fight because remember, he's not a champion. He's an up and comer, so he needs these acid tests. He needs to be rated against, in there with opponents that have been in there with people that he is rated against. So you're in there with Pedraza, and the question is, okay, well, can you do better with Pedraza than Jose Ramirez did? Because Jose looked regular, like he looked regular with Pedraza, bro. You know what I mean? If Barboza could knock his fucking block off, all right. Now we cooking with rice, and he gonna be bigger than him, so we'll see. But I don't mind that fight. He tried to get a better fight. Lopez didn't want it.
It's a consolation prize. It's a good consolation prize for a fight, though.
Yeah, it's not a bad fight. But I'm waiting for Top Rank to come out with some other fights, man. I'm waiting.
You see that one that's coming out April 1st. It's just Ramirez is going to fight
Comey.
Versus Dog Bang.
He's going to knock him out.
I have Robisi knocking him out too. I think Robisi's going to knock him out.
And then you saw that who's in the undercard? God, what is his name? I can't. The other Puerto Rican kid, the really big up and comer. He's on.
Xander.
Yeah, he's on that undercard too as well.
Ooh. Who's that Puerto Rican that Matchroom just signed?
I don't know. Puerto Rican. We talking about Edgar Berlanga?
No. But Edgar posted about it.
They signed a Puerto Rican kid. What's his name?
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to figure out.
Matchroom signing Puerto Ricans. Now they trying to get down with the New Yorkers.
If they signed Edgar, what could they do with him? Like, maybe hope
you just
that
gotta
he draws in New York.
No, you sign him if you're Eddie, you have one super middleweight that you're grooming, and you can build that into a nice sized fight. You actually can, because he's young and he has time, and you also know that Edgar wants time because he want to be on Easy Street. So you do a couple of shows in New York, couple of just slighter touches, 3 shows like that before you put him in with Pacheco. Because Pacheco actually has a ceiling. That kid could be a champion. So you just fatten up Edgar, and then you do that fight. By the time, all of that comes into fruition, Edgar will have his confidence again. He'll feel good again. He'll feel Puerto Rican again, and all of that.
Can you imagine a negotiation process with that guy? You pull Edgar in there. You're like, okay, listen, who are you willing to fight? Who are you willing not to fight? The dude would literally go off a list of like the top 15. Nope, not going to fight him, not going to fight him, not going to fight him. I mean, what is that guy? What kind of negotiating power does he have when he literally won't get
Yeah, like what demands is Edgar making other than money? Like, you got to give me 50 pastelitos or else I'm not going to fight.
The thing is, he's saying his argument seems to be what he sold at the Hulu Theater, with no bearing on performance, that, people were really angry after that fight. It was really late. A lot of old guys in their late 30s, they stayed up to watch it. It was not a good fight. But that does seem to be his argument. What he has sold at the Hulu Theater, that, I sold out the Hulu Theater. All right, bro.
Yeah,
but that's like being a rapper who puts out like one big track and then they just trying to coast off.
Yeah, like you had the Terror Squad at your fight in 2023. That's not a big.
Yeah, Ring. Matthew signed the 2020 Olympian Yankel.
Yeah, that's him. That's the Puerto Rican kid.
All right.
He's a flyweight, apparently.
And they added him to the Serrano card.
All right. Shit. Puerto Rico.
They put Shadeja Green on there too.
Yes, they fucking MVP.
She signed to MVP, yep.
She can fight, bro.
She can fucking fight, bro.
She's fighting Cedarus, and that's after that, she could possibly face
fucking franchise.
Yep.
On some real shit, she need to get ready, because I seen that girl. That girl can fight, man. She can fight. She might hurt Aline Cedarus, but this is that opportunity for you to make a statement. Aline ain't no punk. She's a very big girl. She's very strong. Even though Franchon whooped her ass, just imagine if this girl knock her out, because I think she has 100% KO percentage.
I think she's 11 wins and 10 KOs.
That's still a lot. That's a lot, bro. She knocked this broad out. It's a wrap, bro. It's a wrap.
I'd love to see Shadeja fight like Savannah Marshall or some shit one day.
I would love to see Shadeja versus Raquel. I want to see her with somebody that can slow the fight down and box. That's what I want to see. And if she could work around that, she'll work around anything. That's another one that I like, but she just doesn't seem to fight that often, man. Raquel Miller, she doesn't seem to fight that often. Like, her versus Gabriels would have been a good fight. Her versus Shields, her versus Marsh, her versus anybody would be a good fight.
She hasn't fought since 2019, I think.
She's had fights lined up and stuff has always fallen through for some reason. Like, repeatedly.
For real. Like, that's the story of her shit. Like, I think she was supposed to fight. No, she wasn't supposed to fight her. I remember hearing something about her and Hannah Gabriels, but
something happened. Yeah, they were supposed to fight. Something went down. But also, who else was trying to fight? I think Cornejo was trying to fight, and her fight recently got canceled.
Yeah. I think she's with Marv Nation. I think she is. At least I know she fought on one of their shows. I know she did. And she's a good fighter. Like, I've seen her. I was watching her come through. Like, she's a good fighter. Like, it's not cap. She's a really good fighter. She comes from a good amateur background. And it's like, it's weird that you from the same school as Tiara Brown, Marla Esparza, Clarissa Shields, Michaela Mayer, Virginia Fuchs. You from that same crop of fighters, but it just didn't really pop off for you yet. You know what I mean? It's just weird, because it's like, it's girls at that weight that she can fight, because she hasn't fought them. You didn't fight Christina Hammer, didn't fight Aline Cedarus, didn't fight Franchon. You know what I mean?
Like, she don't deserve the fight.
Yeah, I seen that shit. I remember they had their beef. They open beef in public, her and Clarissa. And Clarissa was like, she's a bum, da-da-da-da-da. And I remember that an offer did go out, But they tell a version of the story that Clarissa say, look, we made her offer. But I think Raquel spoke with Barbershop Conversations, and she told him, yo, the offer was crazy and the notice was crazy. So it's like, do you fault her? Is it a duck? Is it not a duck? You know what I mean? I didn't know. I still don't know how to look at it because, well, I don't know what they offered her. And I don't know what kind of notice they gave her. You know what I mean? Sometimes they try to catch you on a humble, give you short notice to fight. And it's like, well, you trying to catch me on a humble. Nah, I ain't going to take that. Not for that money. So is that really, I don't know if I should look at it as a duck or not, to be real with you. But, it is what it is, man.
Yeah, what do you make of like Jenny Fuchs and Tiara Brown like campaigning to get on a Matchroom show on social media? I know it was like a conversation a couple weeks ago, but I don't think you got too deep into it.
I mean, what I think is that it's sad because they are good. But Tiara's really good. Like, that's not me being kind to nothing. I've been seeing how she's really good, but it's just a testament to the American boxing scene that you have good fighters. And I don't know. I just don't understand what the rationale for some of these promoters are. You realize that if you pick up this girl and you put her on the show, not only is the fight going to be entertaining, but it's going to be less expensive than if you did it with a guy. It will. Because it don't cost that much. You give her $200,000, $100,000. You give her opponent $50,000, maybe less than that, and it's cost feasible. But you still fill the slot. And it's still entertaining. You got to be willing to gamble. And what I see is the American promoters are not really willing to gamble. Al Heyman don't have no female fighters. Nobody signed to Al Heyman. No females.
And the only reason he got random fights on his card is because of Fundora, the older brother fights.
Yeah, but she not with. Like she not really with them though. Like she not with them that when you see her, it's a PBC show. No, she fought on a PBC show.
She gets on the cards only because of that. Because if not, there'll be no females on the cards.
Exactly, and it's like I don't understand what their rationale is, because maybe they just got an old mentality and they don't look at it the way that I look at it. That like, look, when push come to shove, as long as the fight is good, people gonna forget that they girls. They gonna forget as long as the fight is good. And there's girls out there that they're actually really good. Like Virginia Fuchs is really fucking good, bro. She's nice.
Looking for an opponent. She just posted. She tweeted. She's looking for an opponent.
Bro, I'm the video I'm gonna upload after I'm done with this live is about that, literally. And it's just like I said, it's fucked up because it's a lot of them. It's not like it's a little bit of them. It's a lot of them that's out there that they're actually really good. But because the American promoters just want to be on some backwoods shit, like you want to keep paying these guys. They have these prima donna episodes that don't even want to get down. Think about how much money Top Rank wasted on a Berlanga, right? That you could have spent on a O'Shea Jones or a Raquel Miller or a Zarina McCoy or a Virginia Fuchs. And they would not give you the problems that he has been giving you for months. Because he didn't want to fight Jesse Hart. And he didn't want to fight Gabe Rosado. And he didn't want to fight Christian Mabili. If you would have spent that, you could have took the money you spent on him and picked up two of them. And they'll fight who you want them to fight. They'll fight who you want them to fight. And it will still be cheaper than wasting money on guys like him. It's crazy, bro. That shit crazy.
Yo, speaking of which, I ran across this like old footage of Alicia Baumgartner sparring somebody, and she's like beating the shit out of them. And I think like audibly, like someone referred to her sparring partner as O'Shea. So it started making me wonder, is this O'Shea Jones that she's sparring? Because she's like beating the shit out of this girl.
I'll tell you what, if it was O'Shea, that she must have been very young, because O'Shea is younger than, I'm pretty sure she's
like 25.
Yeah, she's a few years. So I don't know if it was O'Shea. I'm not saying it was. But if it was, well, she must have been a kid in that footage.
Yeah, and they're both from Cleveland, so I don't know. I'll send you the footage. Maybe you can like
send me that shit. And yeah, yo, you know what I mean? Shit, it is what it is, B. Shit is fucked up. Like, I think if I'm a promoter, like if I'm especially if you're the PBC, you need to change what you're doing. Can't you see it's not working? You need to change what you're doing. You need to come.
The plan was for it to ever work. I think it's robbing Peter to pay Paul for so long until you can run away with the money when nobody least expects it.
Exactly. That's what it looks like, because when you hear that fighters are not getting their entire purses, or just the things that the fighters are saying, the question then becomes, well, where's the rest of the money, and what are you doing with it? What are you doing with it? What is it that he fights and then you hold the money so that you could pay the next guy, but he don't get paid until the next guy fight, and then you take that money and then you pay this guy what you owed him? Is that what's going on?
Ponzi boxing champions.
That sounds about right, man.
Yo,
crazy, bro.
Yo, but for real.
They're trying that
how does
pyramid
that
scheme shit, man?
How does that even work though? Like, does Al have a suitcase full of IOUs or some shit? Like, what the fuck is like? Why are they
He probably
accepting this?
prints them up right there at his desk and hands them out.
You got to read the shit that Broner said, bro. You got to read the shit that Broner said. Just read the screenshots that I posted in that video from his Instagram, and you get the sense of what is going on there. He said, like, yo, I don't want to talk to you, because he literally says it in the shit. I don't want to talk to you. Stop calling me. Give me my money. You know what I mean? So you could tell he talked his shit, and they just go with it like, yeah, you right, Al, you right, yo.
What I don't understand about that situation is when Adrian Broner says what he says while he was with the PBC, you didn't really hear much. As soon as he leaves and says that the fan base, the PBC fan base, starts discrediting him. Well, he's disgruntled. He stole money from them. He never did well. So like he's just he's got sour grapes. Why is it whenever he was boxing for the PBC and everything was going great, you were a big fan of his? As soon as he starts speaking what I deem to be probably the truth, because why does he have anything to lie? He has nothing to lose. Now suddenly, why do you want to discredit everything the guy did as a boxer on that platform?
No, and the other thing is that Wilder's saying the same. Look,
but it's across the spectrum, because like, what the fuck would Hugo Centennial have to like lie about this? Like, what motive does he have? Like, this dude is literally just a nondescript PBC can.
Yeah, I don't know.
How bad does the situation have to be for you to leave PBC and go to Don King? Moderation.
Damn.
Facts.
That's crazy.
For the greener grass to be on Don King's side, that's a lot.
Fat, like, yo, you looked at Don King's grass and decided that was greener than where you was at? Fucking hell, yo. And you know what? Like, there's no way to have this conversation without addressing what the underlying affinity is. It's some cornball shit. Like, what you look at Al like he's your fucking dad? He's not your fucking dad, bro. He's just a boxing guy, you fucking idiot.
But also, I blame media, man. Like, if you give people like Ellie access, you're never gonna get the questions asked. Like, why is like no one in media like asking about this?
Oh, shout out to my man Leonard Sterling. Appreciate you, Leonard. You need to jump on sometime. Miller fought 2021-2022. Miller versus Flores March 11th in Mexico. Miller versus Gabriels was scheduled and scrapped. Zuffa Shields versus DeCare. Serrano versus Mahfoud card. Need to jump on sometime, Leonard. You're always welcome. And yeah, man, it's just like I saw Rick's post. Shout out to Rick Glacier. I saw Rick's tweet earlier today where he was talking about what Wilder said, and you literally had guys literally making shit up. He wasn't talking about himself. He was talking about Regis Prograis. Bitch, Regis got his money that same week. He got it in 24 hours. What are you talking about? It wasn't Regis. And that's crazy that Regis got all that money in 24 hours, but you got the whole PBC and they got to wait a month. What they say, in a month? A year for their money?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
That's why Jamal got foreclosed.
Broner's one thing, but when you got like him and Wilder and other fighters,
Sean Porter.
Yeah.
Like, that's crazy.
That's crazy, bro. And it's like, because all of that was public, you know, the thing with Regis, that he didn't get his money right away. And basically what it was is the bank put a hold on the money. It wasn't even that the money wasn't paid on time. It was that his bank put a hold on the money because of how much money it was. But the fact that you telling me that Marv Nation can pay you on time, but the PBC can't? Like, am I understanding this? A fledgling promotional outfit that is a local outfit. At most, it's a local West Coast outfit that does not have a broadcast deal. They can pay the fighter on time, not but a day or so after the actual match. Not but a day, maybe two, after the actual match.
There has to be some sort of like industry, like, you know, rumblings about this. Because I remember in a recent interview, Eddie Hearn made it a point to say that, look, we always pay our fighters on time. Like, we've never had an issue.
Look what Tarver said. You know.
Yeah, it's not like that's universally practiced. That's why I brought it up. That's not universally practiced. Case in point, look at Regis. He didn't have to wait a month for his fucking money.
Terrence with Black Prime.
Fucking Avanesian. They got their money. And you telling me that all the wizardry of Al Heyman, such a fucking wizard, that guys are still waiting on their money months later? And y'all, and like I said, y'all dumb motherfuckers defend him. Y'all, that dude to take the shirt off your back and sell it back to you, and you'll smile like a fucking idiot. Yeah. Fucking dudes there's nothing to be said. It's like, yo, listen, the real shit is that you're stupid. That's the real shit. That, yeah, you dumb, yo. You dumb, yo.
93 says Surviving Al Heyman, a Showtime documentary.
For real, B.
Now that shirt shit is probably how they got Rolly to fight Tank.
Brona gonna be on there like, Al Heyman touched me. Show us on a teddy bear with Al touched me. You know what I mean? Like, yo, B, but it's some real but really, it's for me, it's sickening to watch because this is betrayal from within, and that's why it's sickening to watch. All he got to do is play on some familiar tropes, and you bozos eat it up because you don't know no better. It's so easy to con, so easy to trick, and all he got to do is say some familiar sounding shit, and you go with it because you're a fucking idiot. Dumb. Fuck you look like defending. Oh, because it's not possible that a guy from the music industry is a crook. That is not possible. It is not possible.
Yeah, supposedly the reason he his LLC, whatever it is, based out of, I think, Ohio, because those are the laws that favor the person who wrote the contract versus the person who signed it. And that's the same reason Don King is out of Ohio, and a lot of the music industry stuff is out of Ohio, because the contract favors the writer, not the person who signed it.
Shit is crazy, bro. And I'm like, the way that's so. And look, you got whole armies of people that hate me for regularly talking about this. He has an agenda. You can never address what I'm saying. You can never address what I'm saying. And these is the guys that rather hide out on Twitter. They will never, like, we can have that conversation and go ahead, prove me wrong. Do it on camera. Do it so people can see it. Bet you won't.
When did you first hear about this? Like the whole getting paid in installments shit.
The first I heard of it was Floyd. He said it a while ago, a long time ago. But I never got, when he said it, I didn't get the impression that there was something wrong with it. When it started to, the first time I heard it to where I felt like, I think it was Broner. In 2021, when he was talking to Queen's Flip, and he was saying all the stuff, he was saying all the things, or at least he was confirming all the things that I already thought, that the real reason they're putting on so many pay-per-views is because the network doesn't want to put up that money. So the most that they could do is put it on pay-per-view, hoping that the fans will pay for it because the network doesn't want to pay for it. And fight dates are getting pushed back because the budget from the network, it's shrinking. If the viewership is low, the budget is going to shrink. They're not going to, let's spend all this money on boxing when boxing don't bring us no views. It's not bringing us no views. Now, if boxing was bringing them views, then keep spending money on boxing because it's bringing us subscribers, it's bringing us viewership, value. But you can't look at numbers that go down every single year. They go down, and you're thinking, they're spending this year on boxing what they were spending last year. No, the fuck they not. Like, don't you understand how this works? This is about viewership, right? So look at what the ratings are. If the ratings are going down every year, why would the higher-ups, the people above Stephan Espinosa's pay grade, approve these big boxing budgets? Of course they wouldn't. It's common sense. But these guys ain't got no common sense. They see 4 pay-per-views in sequence, and you don't see anything odd about that. That doesn't tell you that, like, yo, where's the network budget? Because all of these are pay-per-views. Where's the schedule for the schedule of fights like the one you used to do? Where's that?
Well, just remove boxing. So forget it. Boxing is the product. If you are a consumer of a product, and that product starts massively shifting either how they're marketing it to you or how you have to buy it or the amount you have to buy it, that's usually a red flag. You're like, well, something's going on. Something's going on with product X that I'm consuming. So when that starts happening and it starts changing, progressively for the worse, that's never a good sign for any product. Forget the fact that it's boxing.
Remember that, you got a unification match between Jarrett Hurd and Erislandy Lara that wasn't a pay-per-view, which I thought of as being a more high-caliber fight than Plant versus Benavidez. I think of that fight as having been a more high-caliber fight. And that got staged as part of the schedule with the budget at that time. Whereas now you're getting less or the same quality for $80 or $75. That's what you got to pay to see that shit? And they want you to pay 4 times, 4 months, back to back. And these guys don't look at that because, well, one, let's be real, you're not buying none of that shit anyway. So you're not going to notice that. That's how you tell on yourself. That's how I know. You don't notice that because you don't pay for shit. If you paid for shit, then you would notice that.
Showtime doesn't want to interfere with whatever they're giving that Saturday at 9:00 at night.
Do you think any of these fighters are eventually going to end up taking them to court because they're not getting paid?
Al Heyman's going to disappear. They're never going to find him.
And also for violating the Ali Act on top of it.
Al Heyman is going to get a sex change, and he's going to move to Cuba, and nobody's never going to see him again, bro. He's going to get a pussy put right on his forehead, and nobody's ever going to recognize him.
There's no way they don't nail him for the Ali Act violations.
They tried.
Bro, boxing is the wild, wild west. That's why he's been able to circumvent it for this long, Literally, that's
Golden
why.
Boy sued him. Top Rank sued him. They both tried.
They tried, bro. But it's boxing, in a general sense, infrastructure. The infrastructure of boxing is the Wild West, bro. He's really a promoter. He's brokering deals with a network. You're a fucking promoter, bro. You are.
Yeah. But
because you call yourself an advisor instead of a promoter, you get away with it. And I always say this, the conflict of interest, and it's obvious. It's not like this is a hard example to understand. You can't look out for the network and the fighter at the same time. The network wants the content to stay there for the cheap. Whereas the fighter, if somebody got some money across the street for that fighter that's better than what you got for him right there, then by all rights, if you're his manager and his advisor, you're supposed to let him cross that street, bro. Otherwise, you fucking him out of a lot of money to satisfy who? Your broadcast partner, because you're the promoter also. It's not complicated, but these dumb motherfuckers like, you did hate Al. All right, you fucking idiot. All right. You fucking idiot.
I assume everybody here has seen the movie Casino. If you remember Robert De Niro's character, whenever he started running, quote unquote, running the casino, he just kept changing his title. So even though he was running the casino, he literally was never in charge.
Exactly.
It's the same thing that's going on with Al Heyman. Al Heyman is running the show, but if he doesn't put his name as a promoter, then he has plausible deniability.
Exactly. He's not liable for anything that's going on because he doesn't have the title of a promoter. But everybody knows, like, bro, when you ever seen motherfuckers working for their advisor or working for their manager, bro, you could fire him, right? In 2020, Zerto Ramirez fired his manager. You think these guys could fire Al Heyman? No.
It's not advice if you don't got a choice.
For real. Like, bro, the way that guys go along with it, I guess that's what kind of roused me up about it. They're like, yo, you really think you understand this shit? Like, you really do. And I know it's motivating you. And I don't want to get into that, but I know it's motivating you, and that's what's wrong with you. You can't open your fucking eyes. The only color that matters is green, you silly motherfucker. That's the only one that matters. But you can't see past certain shit. You really think in your mind Al Heyman got fucking pixie wings and a wand, and he out here trying to help everybody out. You fucking idiot.
They caused this themselves from their inception.
That's a funny visual, man. Can you imagine him?
They put crappy shows on Showtime so that nobody would watch, so they would have a reason to go to Fox and have free boxing on free TV.
Mm-hmm.
They purposely sabotaged it. And now that Showtime's not making any money, why would not make it? Because the person you're in business with purposely sabotaged you to get out to do free boxing, and now you got no choice but to do pay-per-views.
It's almost karma, bro, what happened, because they took the fighters that were buzzing at that time and they included them as almost like a premium package for Fox. You know, they took Spence, who was buzzing at the time, Wilder, who was buzzing at the time, and they had these fighters that were the more popular fighters. They sent them over there to Fox so that Wilder could get his ass beat and Spence could fucking get in a car accident. It's like it all went sideways, and now all of y'all is back at Showtime now.
There's a question asked in the chat that was a good question. It says, how does Al Heyman not violate the Ali Act? The way he cannot violate the Ali Act is he's not the guy that's actually being seen as the promoter. And a promoter has that responsibility for that. Since he's not the promoter, hence my explanation before, he gets around all of that. That's how he doesn't violate it.
Let me break it down. He gets around being the quote-unquote promoter, right? Because he uses promoters, smaller promoters, as his mouthpieces. You'll notice Tom Brown, TGB Promotions, Samson Lukowicz Promotions, right? And he'll use these smaller promoters to give out his marching orders. That's how he gets around it. If somebody asks, I didn't promote the show, that's a TGB show. Even if it's still PBC, well, yeah, but TGB is the promoter. You know what I mean? It's like that's how he gets around it. Now, if it was Al Heyman Promotions, well, it would be a lot more obvious. But technically, that's what it is, because that's who they all take their marching orders from. Take them from him.
Right.
Motherfucker think he Glenn, the good witch of the West. He just out here doing everybody favors. Stupid motherfucker.
Oh, he's the man behind the curtain.
It's sad that people for people to be so naive because they're controlled by other narratives in their life, that they're naive to believe that there's somebody out there who is willing to do nefarious shit. I mean, look, it doesn't matter what your educational background is, what you look like, what language you speak. Shitty people are shitty people all across the world. So it's very possible for a guy that you like or you identify with can be fucking other people over. It's very
you know what this shit is? This is what happens when you celebrate some ain't shit type shit. They don't think of him as being they don't think of him as potentially being a nefarious character. But don't forget that he worked for Golden Boy when he stole all those fighters. And y'all celebrated him stealing all them fighters, not realizing, yo, this is a grimy ass dude, B. Him and Richard Schaefer, y'all some grimy ass dudes. Y'all really stole this dude whole stable. And y'all thought it was okay because of the same usual sucker shit. What do they guys do? All right, you sensitive bitch.
So here's the question. Schaefer went to Probellum, right?
Mm-hmm.
How many Probellum cards are PBC cards?
Fucking Probellum.
How many PBC cards? How much business?
None of them shits. None of them shits, bro. Probellum is as good as.
Since Schaefer left, if Heyman is so great, why have they not done business again?
What do you make of Richard Schaefer? Like, what is your overall position on him?
He ruined his reputation in many ways, and reputation, you know, these are things that can be worked around if you have something that people need or something that people want. Like you've got the next big fighter, the next big thing. Well, that would put you in a position of power. If you had a stable of solid young fighters that they have star quality, that'd get him back in the game. If he had that, but he doesn't have that because Top Rank's farming system is the best, bar none. All the good young guys, they got them. All the good young guys.
Also, too, once you ruin your reputation, it's hard to come back from that shit, man.
Well, yeah, I mean, if you help a guy steal a whole fucking stable of fighters, right?
Look at Don King. Ruined his reputation. The guy never came back.
Exactly.
What was his motive for stealing the fighters, though? What do you think? aside from money, obviously.
Money, lots and lots.
Money. But in their mind, what they're thinking is if we can acquire the contracts for all of these fighters and we become the managers and promoters of these fighters, we see more of the money. Working for Oscar, we see less of the money. If we take these fighters from Oscar, we can start up our own thing and do our own thing, which was the logic.
Keep all the profit and cut Oscar and them out.
Yeah.
That was their whole plan.
And the funniest thing is that for all that stable of fighters that they stole, not a single one among them became a bigger draw than the one guy that stayed with Oscar. What's his name? Canelo.
Make another Hove.
Make another Hove, yo. You a star maker, right? Make another Floyd. Because you made fucking Floyd. That shit irritates me, bro. Fucking Glenn did a good bitch of the what? Like, really, fam? Y'all really think he the Wizard of Oz and shit? Fucking shit is crazy. Be like the way they've deified him, and all I see is a music guy, which off top tells me, oh, you gotta be shifty because you a music guy. You ain't gonna be in the music industry looking out for motherfuckers, you know.
The question you have to ask based on that is, how many times have you ever heard anybody say, yeah, so I got in the music business and the people I work with were very honest and great and they made sure I got all my money and they did the right things for me. Have you ever heard that interview ever once?
Nope.
Oh shit. Hey, bro. Hey, Mirage, watch my next video about how Amazon just paired up with DAZN. Holla. You know what I'm saying? I've been telling y'all DAZN is the new wave, but you know, keep it going.
Yeah. Do you think like
that's a delusional guy that understands that DAZN is a multi-billion-dollar company, correct? Does he know that or not?
I mean, guys got to believe what they got to believe. It is what it is, you know.
Yeah, it's gonna take more than Canelo to like make DAZN go broke. But I was gonna ask, like, what do you guys think of like the subscription service as like a new version of the pay-per-view model?
It's cyclical. What's going to happen is this is going to continue until people are basically paying as much for these subscriptions individually as they were paying for cable. And then cable's going to become popular again, condensing all these things the way that cable did. And then it's going to go back to that. It's literally cyclical. The models, they're cyclical. Right now, people only want to pay for what they have. But when the content is insulated like that, it becomes stagnant over time. And then once it becomes stagnant, they're going to want other things included in their packages. And then packages are going to come out, and then it's going to be cable all over again, basically. Just another version of cable, a more digital version of cable. But that's what it's going to be. When you see that Amazon is trying to expand on their catalog of content, right? You're basically trying to build a cable package, basically.
Hey, Jules, Mr. Calderon is asking if we heard what happened with Ticketmaster.
Now, what happened?
I don't know. Ask him to tell us what happened.
But it's cyclical. Right now, we're in a place where people only want to pay specifically for what they watch. So if you only really watch ESPN in your downtime, you only want to pay for that. And you do save money doing that. But after a while, doing that becomes stagnant, because what if you're in the mood for a movie or a good porno? You're going to want something else. And you're going to want that package that comes with that sports and that movies and that porno, and it'll shift back to a package more semblant of what cable was. So right now we're in the stage where people are trying to save money and they only want to pay for specifically what they watch. But over time, that will change and it'll be just like cable all over again.
Yeah, I think as far as like a substitute of a network, I think as far as sports go, DAZN is like, to me, pretty much up there with ESPN. Like, they have everything. They motherfuckers have oil wrestling on there, I'm pretty sure.
Bro, they just signed AEW, bro. They just jumped into bed with AEW. They're doing fine, believe me. And I said that they're doing fine. I bet like when they started talking about the losses I'm like, yo, these guys really don't know nothing about this kind of stuff. And I don't knock them because I don't expect them to know. But the fact that they're so sure of themselves, like, you know that in order to make an omelet, you got to crack a couple of eggs. There have to be losses in the beginning. If you're breaking into a month, there have to be losses. There are going to be losses. But once you iron all of that out, it's going to be all right, because streaming is the future. People cutting the cord is not some new shit started last year. People been realized you get a cable package, You got a million things that you're not fucking watching, but you're paying for this every single month.
This has
So
been
they got-
6, 7, 8 years in the making of cutting the cord.
Exactly. Like you know, when you got your shows and your channels that you regularly go to, so as people become more aware of that, they tell themselves, well, I only really watch this. So if I can just get this, I'm good. And that will go on for a while until once again it stagnates. Maybe you want to watch Seinfeld and some other shit, some other shit. And then it'll go back to packages again. Everything is cyclical. It's like the precession of the planet. You know, for those that don't know, Earth does this very subtly. It's the same shit with people. Right now, you want that. Later on, you'll want this. And then if you're still alive, later on, you'll want that. It's the same shit. He would make fights people want to see at least. All right, I don't know who they talking about.
He's talking about David Benavidez. If he came over to the zone, he would make fights that people would want to see.
Then why didn't he fight Caleb Plant? Why didn't he fight Caleb Plant, Mirage? Why I had to wait 3 years for him to fight Caleb
Mirage
Plant?
or another one?
Now that's my man, Mirage. Mirage know I fuck with him. I like how stubborn he is. I appreciate that shit. That's how I know he's a man's man. He willing to die on that hill. And I appreciate that shit about him.
What a
I know he ain't no bitch. He really love him some Benavidez. You know what I mean? But I'm just telling you, Mirage, if what you were saying is true, I would have got Plant versus Benavidez 3 years ago. For the titles.
And not on pay-per-view.
You know what I mean? I shouldn't have to wait 3 years for a fight like that. That's not that big a deal. That fight was not, it's not a big deal now. It wasn't a big deal 3 years ago. I shouldn't have to wait 3 years for that. 3, 4, not even 3 years, 4 years. That was 2019.
Can we make him, if he ever joins the chat again and Benavidez loses, can we make him change his name to Delusional? He can't come on as Mirage. He can't come on as Mirage.
Remember,
Mirage the mule, stubborn as a mule.
But I appreciate that because that's how I know he's a man. Like, look, you on your hill, bro. You on your square. I appreciate it.
I appreciate it too. You have the brain of a livestock animal. That's great.
We gotta do that. We don't have to do that.
No, I'm chilling. He's cool.
But I like other than that, he had some decent takes. We did agree on some other things, and I'm just saying that if what he was saying was true, that he would give us the fights that we wanted, well, then I would have got Caleb Plant a while ago because I wanted that a while ago. Right now, I don't even really want that. Like, bro,
I'd be a Benavidez fan. I wouldn't be slandering him.
I find it funny that someone talked about his eye test and his name is Mirage.
Is the exact opposite.
Damn, the whole chat's ganging up on him now.
I think you're a moron. I think your takes are delusional, and I think you're annoying. So I don't agree whatsoever with Jules. I'm the polar opposite. I'm anti Mirage.
It's just funny. He stresses his eye test, but his name is Mirage.
So here we go with the Crawford Avenesian.
Now he said, "Is it a bigger deal than Crawford versus Avenesian?"
Dude, why do you?
This the thing. No. This the thing. Let me answer the question. No, it's like no. Let me be honest. Is it a bigger deal than Crawford Avenesian? Yes, but whoever said that Crawford versus Avenesian is a big deal?
One of them
is half the price, and one of them is a modern great.
By the end of 23.
One of those was for a belt. Remember that one. At least one of those fights was for an actual belt.
It's not that you can't make that argument that is it a bigger deal than this? Well, nobody said this was a big deal. Who said Crawford versus Avenesian was a big deal?
Bro, Crawford Avenesian was $40. It was half the price. It was for a belt, and he's a modern great. Like, he's a modern legend of boxing. Why wouldn't I support that fight? Dumb.
Yo, I don't know that David is ever gonna be pound for pound, bro.
If
I'm not even playing, like, what would it take for him to be like? What would he have to do? Got to fight David Morrell. Got to fight David.
Clean out 168 and then move up.
Yeah, like I feel like that's what it would take because, like, your quality of competition is caca. Like, it's horrible, bro. Horrible.
If Mirage admits that he had if he had an accident, was like dropped on his head or something.
Bro, listen, hold on, wait. Let me do this. Postol is better than anybody he fought.
Yep.
Yeah, like that's what I mean. Like, how you figure that Postol isn't better than anybody he fought? I don't understand that. Like, he is better than anybody David fought.
He got ducked by fucking Danny Garcia, and then
Danny
Crawford gave him the
Garcia
worst.
gave him his lunch money.
Yeah, and Crawford gave him the worst beating of his life up until that point. Like he 12-0 to prime Victor Postol.
Yeah, like how do you figure that David fought somebody better than Postol? Who? Don't say Anthony Terrell. Don't do it. Don't you do it. Don't say Anthony Durrell is better than Postol. No, he not. No, he not. You know what I mean?
Bro, Durrell walks into the ring knocked out. Like, come on, dog.
Talked all that shit so that John B can lay his ass out. You make that shit. How much better, though? He is hardly an elite fighter. That's all you need to be a modern great. Well, I mean, Benavidez don't need nothing at all, and you ready to build him a church.
Hell yeah.
Like shit, like
you erecting a statue in that man's name.
You can't turn that logic on Crawford without turning it on Benavidez first, because it's like, well, wait a minute, you saying that about him? He's a 3-division, 2-time lineal, 2-time Ring Magazine, undisputed current reigning champion, right? And you high on a dude that didn't do none of that. Come on now, Mirage. You got to understand that he's a hype.
Ganging up on him too.
He's a hype job, bro. Hype job. That dude beat no one. And beating Caleb, that don't make it all better, because that been your homework. You turning in your homework late, so you're not even going to get the full A. You might get a B- because your homework is late. Like in school. I will smoke Crawford anytime. Hold on. Anytime you want. What, like in the ring? Ooh. Don't let me send that to Terrence. But
by the
yeah,
way,
yo.
AJ sends his regards to everybody. He had to
You know
work.
what I mean? But yeah, yo, like you can't be that high on a guy that is less accomplished than the guy you criticizing. It ain't never going to work, because everything you say can be turned against David.
He says no on here.
Oh, well, all right. Well, that applies to David too. I'll give it to David whenever you want on here while you listen to me. All right.
Who's the fighter in his profile picture? I think I recognize him.
James Thunder.
Let me see.
James Thunder.
Oh, yeah. Thunder Down
He's
Under.
dead now.
Hanging onto his crappy WBO belt like he's the man.
He hating on
David don't even got a real belt. He got an interim. He got a secondary belt because he is secondary fighter.
All I know is, Jules, I'm tired of your agenda and your narrative against PBC fighters and your criticism of them.
I'm tired of your agenda.
Your agenda.
Fuck them.
What is that agenda? I never got an answer. I was waiting for an answer.
You didn't buy Spence versus Ugas.
I didn't.
Benavidez may never be pound for pound, but he may be kilo for kilo.
Kilo for kilo. Coke for Coke. At least David.
And I get mad like.
Yo, check it. Fucking Terrence had the WBC at 140.
Yeah, that full Mirage. David Benavidez wishes he had the resume and respect Chavez Jr. had in Mexico.
Yeah, Mirage.
I'm trying to tell you that fat boy, that hype job, is not getting in the Hall of Fame. Mirage gonna be 50, mad than a bitch when all the names come up.
I know we get on Chavez for losing Chavez Jr. for losing to Anderson Silva, but
on some real listen, that dude is not never gonna get in the Hall of Fame. He not gonna be remembered, bro. He gonna be like a Peter Quillen kind of guy.
Think about it. At least Chavez Jr. had the balls to fight at 175.
Your boy's trying to say that Benavidez cleans out cruiserweight.
He's not. Listen, he'll get cleaned out at cruiserweight like a Kalanick. They will fuck him up there. They will fuck him. Could you imagine him trying to do that little bullshit on Lawrence Okoli with the tentacles?
Would David Benavidez have beaten Fonfara at 75 when Chavez fought him?
Listen, bro, David know better. If fuck he gonna do at cruiserweight when he
remember when Chavez went up there, thought he was going shit was sweet with Fonfara, and Fonfara fucked him up?
Listen, bro. I wish David would have the fucking audacity to go to cruiserweight.
Hey,
Ooh,
let's see David go fuck with Dorticos, man.
Like shit, he bought that shit. Yo, they will punk his low ass up there. They will take
Makabu would fuck him up.
Bro,
Dorticos would give him a wedgie. Like
yo, that dunk his head in the toilet like, yo, you really a herb, yo. You crazy? You better go back down. You better make 168, boy.
Run him for his coat.
Fuck you up out here, yo. You get pumped up. Listen, man, I don't even need to send him to cruiserweight. Fuck around, better be even punk him, bro. Hit that dude one time.
You know, I didn't really have an opinion, like an
better be.
attachment
That
to
shit
either.
kind of shit won't work on Callum Smith.
Bro, you'll knock that motherfucker out.
I didn't have an opinion on Benavidez versus Plant on who would win, but now I'm actively rooting for Plant because this guy's such a clown. I want to see Benavidez lose bad now because this guy will never come back on this channel ever again when that happens.
Bro, listen, you know what he would do if Benavidez lose? He would take a one-way.
Get out of here with that.
Look. He will take a one-way trip to the Outback and just walk across Australia, bro. You would never hear from this dude again, bro. He get bitten like by
Benavidez will beat up Better Beef too. Too big, too fast. Yeah, whatever, man.
Yeah, all right, bro. I hear you, bro. I hear you.
I'm looking forward to whenever he loses to never hear from this guy ever again. It's actually a wish of mine.
Listen, like I said, it's what for me. Look, for me, it's whatever. Right? Plant win, Benavidez win, it's whatever. But he really gotta hope that Benavidez win. Like, you better hope he win that fight, bro. Because if he do anything other than win that fight, you better just drive to the Outback, bro. Just drive to the Outback and walk.
I hope Jules makes a whole entire segment about trolling you, like on the relay, just for if he loses.
Yeah, because I'm not the
I'll
funny
watch
shit.
Twice.
I'm not wishing that he lose. I'm just saying that if he lose, oh my God, Mirage, you better just hide in a kangaroo pouch or some shit.
Oh no, we'll sign him up for suicide watch, man.
Yeah, you're gonna have to find the deepest, darkest kangaroo pouch in all of Australia and just sit in that shit. Looking up
in a ball, you know.
We'll put all the Vegemite in that shit.
Uh-oh.
Breaking news: Mr. Mirage is suffering from withdrawal symptoms since coming off HP brown sauce. Experts urging him to get back with it.
He's coming off of David's underwear sauce.
Bro, like, I don't know what benefit. You know what? I'm starting to think that he's a member of his team.
No, I've been saying that's his coke dealer, and we're like fucking the money up. Like,
no, I'm serious. I really think he's a member of Benavidez's team. There's no way you saw this guy fight and you arrived at all them conclusions. Like, nah, you know him, right? Like, what that's your man, right? Like, he signed your autograph. It's like it's something. It's some unusual shit. Because I'm like, bro, it's not possible to be high on this dude like that. He didn't do nothing. He didn't do nothing.
Regis credit. His tweet game's been good today. I just catching up on everything. I seen the one where he shows the duck and saying this is Jose and Tio. The duck running through the house.
Oh shit. And look, in any event, fellas, I will be going live for Yard versus Better Beef. Good fight, very good fight.
You mean Better Beef's? You mean Yard's fucking funeral?
Yard's
Final
fucking
prediction?
funeral. Nah, I'm saving that for tomorrow. I want to do a prediction video tomorrow. I don't want to give it all away.
Under Jules, how long is Better Beef going to be out after this fight with injury?
Bro, you know he gonna get injured, right? As soon as the fight is over, we gonna hear some bullshit like I pulled a fucking hamstring or some bullshit.
Okay, what's your injury prediction? I'm going with he'll break his big toe or some shit. He'll do a David Hay.
A David Hay?
Yeah.
It'll be a hand. All right.
Pinky.
It'll be. I'm gonna go with a hand injury. That's what I'm gonna go with. A hand injury, because he already had surgery on his knee or some shit.
Virgil Ortiz 2023 says Mirage is jealous of Benavidez's wife.
We ain't got to do that. In any event, fellas, I'll see you on the next one.
Have a good night, everybody.
Fellas.